Hello, welcome to Loud Equals Funny. Today we're doing our little hyperfixation on Halo because we need to push off 69 because we have plans that are way too big for short notice. So
Yes, and
you get Halo
also
this time.
it's for holidays. Yes, when we're
Well,
recording
I
this,
mean,
it's
also
Thanksgiving.
you guys got the name of the podcast wrong. We're clearly loud. Funny equals welcome.
Yes, welcome to Loud Funny Equals.
Yes.
So
We're
we're
now
gonna
Mark in there
LFE.
somewhere.
yeah. So we're gonna be playing some ODST firefight and just kind of generally talking about the Halo series in a bit of a lackadaisical format because
We got
two of us are
some
very
lore.
sleepy.
Yeah, we got some lore. We got some just gameplay, memories, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna play on easy because we're all bad at video games. That's the reason.
That's
Yes.
true. Yes, it's definitely not because we have to focus on talking.
Yeah, I still don't know how I'm gonna be at that, but we'll do our best. Woo!
So, yeah,
Well, I gave us big stats, so hopefully
Yeah.
hopefully we'll all be good.
so for
We're gonna be
listeners,
murderizing some shit today, folks.
yes, for podcast listeners, if you're listening, you're just gonna get our verbal experience. If you're watching, you're going to see my gameplay footage.
Yay!
Yes, no face cams for this one because Discord is goofy. But
Yeah.
yes, but
More than just Discord being goofy, all of the alternatives are also just fucking scams. It seems like so.
They want to cost like $300 a fucking month. It feels like it's absurd.
Yeah, we're not that big yet.
When we get there, we'll get there. But right now, yeah, I don't want to overdraft anymore. So that's not happening.
Well, we've got all our own problems, but the thing about
Yes.
Master Chief, the thing about Halo is he fights aliens and doesn't afraid of anything, and so that's why I think he's pretty
Thank
cool.
you, Halo. Thank you, Halo, for fighting aliens. Let's
Thank
get
you.
started.
Thank you, John Halo. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the first 3 games in this episode. We'll probably do more episodes covering the later games, like Halo Wars, even.
We should totally try to play, at least 5 has multiplayer on PC, right?
Yeah, it's got Forge.
We could do some fucking 5 Forge for that episode. I bet it would actually be fun, because I've heard that one's good.
It's kind of fun.
Like, for Forge, anyway.
I'm down to try that. So yeah.
Well, but here we're doing the good Halos for now, and I mean, I guess starting out, what do you guys know about like before CE? Because I know the general overline, it was gonna be a
Like an RTS
an
called Monkey Nuts.
RTS.
Yeah.
Monkey? I didn't know that.
Oh, was that?
I didn't know it was called Monkey Nuts. That's a new
yeah,
one
it was one of its like working prototypes. One of them was Glam. It took a lot to get to Halo, but once we got on Halo, it was a good title, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of nailed the title.
Yeah, and it was going to be on the Mac, because they made Marathon for the Mac.
Yeah, they've
that's
done
like a classic, kind of.
Yeah, for its initial, like, first
I just got a
few
Killionaire.
games. Oh, nice. For your first few games, Bungie was a Mac-only developer, which was, I mean, it was a niche. It was something.
Yeah,
I bet Steve Jobs was real happy about them going over eventually to Xbox.
Oh yeah, because this was funny enough. I don't know if they ever did anything for the Pippin, but this was like Microsoft doing that right after Steve Jobs kind of came back into the fold at Apple. It's a whole different fucking episode we could talk about one day.
Yeah, there's lots to say there. Let alone how Xbox is fucking doing now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've lost track, guys. Do you remember what is an Xbox, by the way? I don't remember. It's
I'm
like
not
everything,
sure.
right?
Everything, including your own pubic hair.
Xbox
Oh
is
no.
the new talk about X, the everything app. I mean,
I
yeah.
mean, I get what they're
X the everything
trying.
box.
I get what they're trying to go for, but it's also like really misguided and not the thing to do right now, I think. But
Oh,
what do I know? I've just been buying the brand for 20 plus fucking years.
you're an
Yeah.
idiot and wouldn't know anything at all about such things, Bane.
Exactly.
Not a chance.
Not at all.
I mean, not even Phil Pencer knows what an Xbox is.
I mean, I'll say this: Phil Spencer's better than some of them they've had.
Better than Don Matrick.
Way better than Dodd Magic. Holy shit!
I don't
And-
know.
Oh
I
no,
don't know.
no, yeah,
No,
yeah.
absolutely.
For
By a wide
I
margin.
guess it's
It-
just like the Xbox at least still had a fucking identity back then.
it's
But
like
he was
going.
the one who first killed it, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
he was the first one to stick the sword in, and then like they've recently just been playing with the sword constantly. They're still just toying and diddling with it. It's
Kind of sliding it in and out.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
Seeing
seeing
what
how
kind
they
of
like
funny.
you know,
Yeah.
the feeling.
it's a little fetishistic, but hey, it wouldn't be Microsoft if it wasn't some weird sex fetish.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Bill Gates approves.
I mean,
So
hey,
Halo.
if some of the bad problems of the Halo was because fucking Bill Gates was not in charge anymore, I would totally get it. Actually, it's like all the problems
but
are
Halo's
Steve
been pretty
Ballmer.
fucked. Halo's been pretty fucked for a long time. Thankfully, we're mostly just going to be talking about the actual good Halo today.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna be nice.
So they went from RTS because Microsoft was in a desperate bid to buy anything they could to build up this console. That's why Brute Force came a thing. If anyone remembers Brute Force.
Oh wow,
I do
Fusion
not
Frenzy,
remember.
everybody.
Oh, Fusion Frenzy
do you-
fucks though. Fusion Frenzy
do you-
fucks.
Hey, Bane, do you want this sniper?
No, God, I hate snipers.
All right.
I'm not even
I
kidding.
kind of picked it up, but we really don't need it. I'm making
Yeah.
do just fine with the SMG.
Considering what this map is, yeah, we don't need the snipers. Can I eat the shit? Okay. Wow, this is hard to do while we're playing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's not incredibly easy. Maybe I should like make us invincible with infinite ammo or something like that.
No, it's still fun.
It's fine.
So yeah, Microsoft was in
How
a
long-
desperate bid to buy shit.
How
And-
long was Halo in development for?
I
Like
think
the first one?
Since '98, I think,
Yeah, I was gonna
right?
say 1998. I think was like right around the time. This is after the third marathon game, Trinity.
There were 3 marathons?
There were 3 marathons.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a fucking
It's
about
sprint,
to-
not a
There's
marathon.
about to be
There's
a
gonna be
fourth
4.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a shitty live service and no one cares. So
We still don't know if and when it will release. That's another good question. But
I'm sure enough people care, though, so that's embarrassing.
I mean, I'm gonna play the beta.
Of
I
course you will.
wouldn't disparage somebody for caring.
Admittedly,
I
if I
mean-
think anyone could do an extraction shooter and it be successful, I think it would be Bungie. But there's a grav hammer here if anyone wants it.
I don't really need it.
I'll take it. I can just
Yeah,
pick
we
up
got
an SMG
infinite
later.
lives. I think we could just fuck around, really.
We could. But yeah, so it started out originally, funny enough, as a first-person shooter, and then they were like, let's do something expansive, and they wanted to do an RTS, so they pivoted to an RTS, and then Microsoft, again, in their desperate bid to make the Xbox a success, to fuck over Sony, they bought them up. They bought up a few other companies, and they said, "Hey, look, we want to bring something to the Xbox. You've got something in the works." So they decided to pivot to a first-person shooter again, and ended up making one of probably the most enjoyable launch first-person shooters, enjoyable console first-person
Oh,
shooters. Of
yeah.
the time.
I think I would go as far as to say that maybe besides like Super Mario Bros, that Halo is the best launch title that a console has ever had.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's fucking like it's hard to compete. Because I mean, there was only other like one or maybe two games that had the control scheme that Halo had, and that was
Yeah, it was very
Alien.
unique for the time.
I
Well,
think Alien
famously,
Resurrection.
there was a review on like GameSpot, I think, that was like, the controls are nonsense for Alien Resurrection. You move and strafe with the left trigger, or with the left stick, but then the right stick, and it was just describing like obviously the normal first-person shooter controls that everyone knows now. But like in 1996 or whatever, I guess it was like a crazy weird thing.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was, I think maybe 99 possibly.
it was some. It was like very late '90s.
Yeah, and like Halo kind of hit at this interesting time. I think you had stuff like Metal Gear Solid around that same time. Metal Gear Solid 2 was, I think, a few weeks before it.
Who? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, remember back in the day when video games were innovative all the time?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And
And now everything pretty much looks the same.
even Halo kind of looks the same.
Yeah. I guess they are pivoting to Unreal Engine now, but what engine was the original Halo on? Is it just Quake?
It was the custom engine.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it eventually. I think it was originally called the Blam engine.
I think so.
Blam engine. Huh.
And then from 2 until legitimately probably Infinite, like they've all been on the same kind, like it's the same variation of the same engine, but they're
Take
all
notes,
coded different.
Bethesda.
Yes, shockingly versatile, and I'd say pretty well made up until the fact they've been doing it for 20 plus years, and that's kind of on its own a little hard, and it's a little rough to use
Yeah.
something for that long, I think.
I mean, it works better for an ancient engine than fucking Gamebryo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
similar
like I mean,
tools, but Gamebryo. Well, Gamebryo also worked in other games. It's just Bethesda, like their fork of it runs like ass, to put it nicely. It's just
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
Bethesda's just incompetent. But Bungie was known for being, well, it's just so strange. They're one of those developers that really were like fucking mavericks of their time, and then I don't know, everyone left, and it all just kind of got weird, and Halo 4 happened, and yeah,
yeah.
Destiny.
They just didn't want to make more Halo games, which I get.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of finished telling what the story they wanted to tell.
Yeah, and they only really made ODST and Reach because of contractual obligations, and I mean, thank God for contractual obligations, I guess.
Yeah. So, as we start heading into, Halo 1's beginnings, like it's hard to explain to anyone who was not there just how big Halo was at that time.
I mean, even for people who weren't there, at the very least, if you were alive at the point, you heard about Halo.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those games also that, growing up, I had a PS2 for a little bit there. I eventually got an Xbox, I think in like 02 or 03, but like Halo was the game that everyone was talking about, everyone wanted to play. And that if you knew
Yep.
someone who had an Xbox, you were like, fuck, I gotta go over to that person's house, even though they're like annoying or an asshole. And I gotta play
Yeah.
fucking Halo.
I remember as a GameCube kid just being like, man, Halo seems like this mysterious, like mature kids game that I can't play. And what's going on with that? Oh, there's multiplayer? Oh.
Also, I stuck that fucking thing mid float, and it was
Hell
so
yeah.
cool. I caught that on camera. Hope someone saw that.
Nice. Chat,
Rewind
can we
if you
clip
missed
that?
it, folks.
Yeah, chat. Can you rewind and cut that out for me? Thank you. Ooh, tough luck and catch on.
Yeah, make sure to turn off Black Eye.
Thank you.
'Cause, oof,
Thank you.
Which one is that?
That's
that's the one where you had to melee to regenerate. In this game, it's stamina, but shields.
Mm.
And stamina of this game, it's definitely more important, I think, than shields, actually. Because you just move so fucking slowly. But, yeah. This is going to be so disjointed. I'm so sorry, folks.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to be a little bit more casual with it.
Yeah. So, you know, Halo tells the story of Master Chief going to what is it, Installation 04?
04, Mr.
Yes.
Chef.
John Halo.
Jonathan Halo and his blue-haired waifu Cortana
His
are
AI generated girlfriend.
yeah.
Mhm.
He's so lame. He had to AI generate his own girlfriend.
Lame or ahead of the curve.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, this
He
is
was
the
20
future.
years ahead.
Well, no, this is the future. For him, this is like, you know, so
Yeah, this is
antiquated.
really old
Oh, yeah, so
technology.
he was 530 years behind.
Yeah,
For him, he's just falling in love with Akinator.
exactly.
Oh
It's
no.
like it's like the online tradcap guys now, but it's you know that for jerking off to AI. It's like this was old hat.
Isn't that already what that is?
Yes. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm in a very bad situation over here. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, you can play, Halo 1. I don't know, like we were talking about launch titles. There's a lot of launch titles that are like, this obviously doesn't look as good as the later stuff. And Halo 1 doesn't look as good as the later, like Halo 2, just original Xbox games, even.
I
But
suppose, but
it
it has a
still
really
has a
nice
really.
style.
It
It's
has a
aged
great
well.
style. It's aged well. It's got. I remember it being very impressive to play it on the Xbox back in the day, because just like comparing that to the GameCube or the PS2, like everything is so fucking blurry on those consoles. But the original
Yeah.
Xbox, you could like feel the power of that thing just in Halo 1.
I'm
Oh
pretty
yeah.
sure the GameCube did have a better GPU, but also the disc size means that you can really fit much on it.
Yeah, everything was like
Yeah.
compressed.
The original consoles, like the original Xbox, was probably the most powerful, but because it was kind of like
It
second
was just a
place.
PC.
Yeah, because it was just PC. It's like they didn't really have this like an established relationship like Sony did, so not everything got certain game. Like we didn't get certain games, which really was surprising. And then that generation was really fast for Xbox. Like it was only 4 or 5 years long.
Yeah, they were out of that generation pretty quickly.
And I mean I get it because like you know the 360 was so powerful and they got ahead of the curve. Like they got
And it
ahead of the
was
curve
also
really
just a lot more popular than the original.
true.
I wonder how much of that was owing to just calling it the 360 instead of the PlayStation 3 or whatever. 'Cause they were
Honestly,
so
I think
scared.
if anything, it might have hurt it a little bit. I don't know.
I mean
Uh,
I don't know, I think the name was interesting enough and it also like it actually explained what they were trying to do with the console, like it being an all-around thing.
I
But
guess.
that
That was a
name
better title than Xbox One
yeah,
for sure.
I'm about to say that's like that name system didn't really work out for them when they finally went to the Xbox One because like oh it's the only
Yeah.
one you need. It's like no that doesn't work as well. That doesn't
You're
make
the
sense.
only you're the only Ted
Like
I see. I fucked that up.
at the very least, you can make a case for what an Xbox One means. I'm still not sure what Series S and Series X are supposed to be.
You know, it's
Like I
something
get I
about
get that
Just
S
sound
is
cool.
like
yeah.
yeah, I think
X,
that's it
Tristan,
really.
X.
Oh yeah, the everything the everything console.
The letter anime. So, it says all you need to know.
Yeah, I don't understand. Somebody at Microsoft needs to hire like actual people to
Wow.
name shit.
I
Wow,
just
we're almost at
fired
the
like
end.
three. I fired like fucking. Wow, all my fuel rods are missing. What is going on? Holy shit.
We're almost at the end here.
They're all just like bouncing onto the fucking ground. Oh.
Shit.
But,
Yeah.
Halo, despite the fuel rods just bouncing in random directions, is known for having, very functional controls nowadays, which is more than you can say for a lot of, again, FPSs of that time. Control console especially, they
Oh,
just
yeah.
have shit all over the fucking keyboard. It was a nightmare. Or all over the gamepad. You'd be like moving. The worst was the ones where you would have to turn with the fucking shoulder buttons and
Uh,
stuff like that. Like if you
Yeah,
play,
yeah.
that was horrendous. I fucking hate that shit.
Or like old PS1 like first person shooters where you have to like aim with the face buttons.
Yeah. Although to be
yeah,
fair, for a lot of those, that was just a limitation with the controller, because
True.
DualShock wasn't really standard until PS2.
Oh. Oh shit. These little guys are a little more finicky. I don't know why we're fighting for this, but it's still cool because
what's the point if you don't fight?
What am I fighting for?
I'm on a hammer spree. Ow.
We should just call this loud play. Honestly.
Loud plays. Oh shit.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, this
Woohoo.
little fucker.
Bonus
Hell
round.
Did the bonus round. See, folks, we are real gamers. We played on easy and did the bonus round.
That's true.
Yeah. That
We
wasn't
play on
necessarily
easy
that
with
easy.
enhanced stats.
Well, that didn't feel that easy.
Listen, I didn't
I
die.
say
It's
coping.
easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Halo 1, the thing about that too was that when they were putting it out, it was just going to be a story FPS, like a campaign single player thing, and then the story I've heard is that it was basically just like one guy who decided on his own time to program in multiplayer. Same thing really with Half-Life, or Half-Life 2 in particular.
I also heard that like a little while before launch, they just decided, this multiplayer sucks. We're gonna redo it entirely,
Oh
and
shit.
that's insane.
It is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was designed. I've heard definitely the talk about what is it, like the 30-second game loop, that one of the Halo designers kind of coined, where they're like, if you can make the game fun for 30 seconds at a time.
Those
That's
markers, right?
it was one of the lead designers, I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
not sure.
But yeah, they really deliberated on making it's very similar, it sounds like, to Half-Life and whatnot. I'm mixing up the Half-Life documentary with the Half-Life 2 documentary, but like, yeah, apparently the game was like mostly done, but then they were just like, yeah, this isn't fun. We got to delay it by like 6 months to just like make it enjoyable for people.
Yeah, they were working on the cutscenes at during 9/11, which is
Oh yeah.
crazy. I mean, seeing that it launched in November, that's pretty down to the fucking wire.
And
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing when you see the development stories of some of these like all-time classic games, and it is just like, we barely managed to get this together. There's a line in the Half-Life documentary that's like, if one person had gone home for like a month or had to leave, whatever, we pretty much wouldn't have been able to finish the fucking game. It wouldn't have shipped. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
assuming that's probably the same with Halo too. Very like all hands on, everybody needs to get this going. And, pressure cooker mentality, crunch or whatever you want to call it, it led to, an all-time classic.
Yeah, it's just a shame that it kind of had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching the thing about the creation of Silent Hill too, and it's like the Silent Hill 1 actually, but it's like yeah, you can complain all you want about the meddling of the corporate executives on top, but in many ways the game you love just wouldn't exist if it wasn't for that. For like Microsoft, just, hey, we need you to make an FPS. Hey, it needs to have this and that, and like these are the things that sold, these are the things that people liked about it.
Oh yeah, because I mean, in like the long term, it is a business. They've got to they got to make their money back. As much as it sucks, it's like, yeah, people like art kind of mixes with business in a way that it sucks, but it also gets it done, and makes you have to be more creative at times to get things finished, you know?
Yeah, some people really work well under pressure, you know.
It's impressive. Because
Hmm.
there are times, I get not wanting to be under pressure, but also, hey, when it works, it works.
It helps, yeah. Yeah, and Halo was definitely one such game, but I mean, arguably Halo 2 and 3 were even more pressure, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That
hey,
Halo.
was
Halo
like
Two's development
insane.
was absolutely insane.
It does
Yeah,
not sound like a fun time to be working at Bungie necessarily.
it does not sound like it was a good experience by the end, but they got a lot out of a little.
They
Yeah,
sure
I
did.
mean, they basically added a whole second campaign. I mean, they were both, a little bit shorter than, the Halo CE campaign, but like being able to play as the Arbiter was so fucking cool.
It was
Yeah,
also like risky. Yeah, go on.
they really didn't
Yeah.
waste much time at all getting into like, the Covenant are not actually the unquestionable, obviously evil bad guys. They're
Yeah.
just kind of, I don't know. It's always been interesting to me. Halo is just like it's very much viewed as this like stupid idiots alien blast game. But I mean, even from the very first game, they were doing pretty interesting things with the story. The flood stuff just came out of left field, but like in the best possible way. It's like this spooky fucking horror turn. And I'm not like a big horror guy, but when something does that kind of unexpected spooky horror moment where I'm like not really looking for it, it really works. And it's like memorable. That fucking level going through with the shotgun in particular. And yeah, I mean, it turns into this whole thing about like really a great series for the Bush era of like these foreign weird terrorist aliens are actually not all bad, guys.
Yeah, this was weirdly kind of like more progressive for, a time where America was kind of jingoistic and kind of, you know, a little more violent, I would
Yeah.
say.
So something Marty O'Donnell political commentary insert here.
Yeah, Marty
Classic
O'Donnell.
Marty O'Donnell.
It
What
really
is
is a
that
shame
bastard
too
doing
because
nowadays, now that he's a loser?
Good
I don't
question.
know. He has me blocked on Twitter.
Yeah, admittedly,
Understandable.
I'm pretty sure he probably has a podcast blog too. He seems like one of those guys who does a blot, like the bot, like block bot, you know?
I don't
How
think
embarrassing.
so. It was definitely because I said something to him directly.
I mean, yeah, that'll do it.
Kristen, you lost us the illustrious Marty O'Donnell as a podcast guest. How could you?
Listen, he doesn't need to know that account was me. One of you can contact him. You're the
True.
guys with the big dick audiences.
One of us is the guys with a big dick audience. Let's be real.
Listen, compared to me,
True. No, it's true. Everybody in
Yeah,
my audience is a big dick, so
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And
true.
hey, listen, if you're not part of the audience and you want a big dick, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/loud equals funny and patreon.com/deadwingdork and give us
That's
all of your
me.
money.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all of it. Fork it
All of it.
over. Fork it over!
At the
And
very least, I mean, $5 a month. That's more than some video games ask
just
from you.
pretend you're getting a new Halo game out of the deal and it won't be so sour.
Yeah, just
Exactly.
pretend you're playing Halo with us.
Yeah, this
Yeah, we
video.
don't want to and we're not your friends, but pretend.
That's
Yeah,
that's
this
true. We never play Halo with anybody except ourselves.
exactly. Halo with other people. That's for dorks. That's for dweebs.
Omega cringe lords.
I know, right? Playing Halo with people, kind of gives the ick, as it were.
Yeah, Halo is really meant to be a three-player max game.
It really
TBH,
is.
TBH.
Whoa, okay, energy drain. But yeah. Um. So, like, hey, how much of Halo One did you guys play pre MCC?
Oh, I mean,
Um,
I owned it back in the day, console and PC.
I played my dad's copy of the PC port as well
Oh
as the
shit.
360 version with that god awful widescreen.
Oh
Who wanted
yeah.
the
Yeah, not
360
not
version?
not Halo Anniversary, I should say.
Oh,
The one on the one that was on like arcade. I
oh,
got
you
it like
didn't
a
know there
few
was
years
a...
before Anniversary
Oh
Edition happened.
yeah. The
Back when
the
they
one you
didn't
could
care about
purchase.
aspect ratios.
Yeah.
I ended up buying because I played the shit out of it because of a cousin. He had it, and then I ended up buying an Xbox with that and Silent Hill 2. I think like a year or two
Nice.
after.
That's peak gaming, honestly.
That really
It's
fucking
pretty good stuff.
was. And then yeah, Halo 2, which I Halo 2 was my first real online gaming experience outside of RuneScape.
We
Because
all,
Yeah,
hey, listen. Everybody starts with RuneScape, you know.
oh yeah,
Halo 2.
RuneScape and Neopets.
I didn't get to play Halo 2 because I back in the day I had the like demo Silent Cartographer Island
yeah.
Oh hell
uh,
yeah!
on the
That's all you needed.
PC. Yeah, it was a really good demo.
Like, Silent
Really.
Cartographer is one of the best like levels in FPS history, honestly.
It really
Yeah,
is.
they picked the best one, and that was another one that was like, didn't they do that one in like a day or something? I
I
remember
was not
hearing.
aware of that. That's insane.
I
I
remember
think
hearing
they
that one was like
prototyped.
pretty quickly developed and turned into like the best part of that game.
Maybe one
But
they like prototyped.
as we all know, Halo 2 was only on Windows Vista back in the day. So
Yeah,
No, you
I
could get it to work on
you
could
other
could.
you?
Windows.
You
I don't think
could.
maybe not XP, but like once 7 came around, you could get it to run on
I thought it
those.
was
True.
exclusively Vista. Okay.
No, I think you get to work on 7, but I also think like everything after that it fucked up, and then I think its servers are. And plus,
No,
you have to run it through Games for Windows Live, anyways.
I was able
Before
to run it
correct.
on 8 and 10.
Oh shit. See,
Yeah,
I
you got to do a little tinkering, of course. You know,
see. I
But I do
never.
remember hearing it was also like a giant, like the Halo 1 PC port already apparently had a bunch of problems, which I didn't really realize as a kid, but supposedly it was not the best port. A
Yeah,
lot better than like Resident Evil 4 or
the
Oh
DMC
yeah.
original one.
3 or
Yeah,
something.
actually,
But
DMC3 had a pretty decent original PC port.
it wasn't amazing, but it was certainly better than some. Oh yeah, that reminds
Yeah.
me, totally unrelated. The fucking Silent Hill 3 PC port just had like completely jumbled menu options. Like resume game would quit the game to the menu. I don't know what the
Oh,
fuck.
awesome. Oh,
Don't
that
know what
sounds
the fuck.
great.
Yeah, that
Uh,
doesn't shock me. Some
but
of those PC ports are shit. But
the Halo 1 PC port, I mean, it's probably not perfect, but I remember it being mostly pretty good and running pretty well on my terrible hardware. And yeah, then the Halo 2 one was apparently like outside of Vista, it was also just kind of supposedly kind of heavily very unoptimized and not exactly the best way to play it.
Yeah, not fantastic.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember trying it because I had the only Games for Windows Live game I had. Actually, I had two. I had Shadowrun, which I don't know if anyone else remembers, and I had the Gears of War port, which was also awful. But
Here's
Nice.
the PC port,
yeah, the
right.
PC port, which had a fight, but I don't think they ever like put the console or did in that little Ultimate remake they did. So yeah, that's Trapped on Vista. Woo, let's go team.
Well,
Hell
at least the
yeah.
Vista still has something.
Yeah, hey, Vista has more exclusives than the Series X.
Woo!
Well, we've been talking about Halo 2 a little bit, but we
Yes.
should, briefly touch on like what exactly happens in Halo 1. Oh god.
Oh,
My health
I
is
just
low.
got fucking rear-ended by Claw. Thanks.
I did the same
Oh,
to Bane. Don't worry, it's equal
wow, took a
opportunity.
while.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, Halo is the story of Mr. Chief. He goes onto a funny onion ring and then it saves the universe.
Basically.
Yes.
Yeah, it
We
starts out with a simple story about, they attacked the planet of Reach. The Covenant did, these evil, mysterious, religious zealot aliens.
The evil empire.
Right.
yes.
And then,
There's a big group of them.
how exactly they kind of crash land? Oh yeah, because they attack the ship, the Pillar of Autumn, at the beginning,
Yep.
and they wind up just sort of crash landing on the Halo ring. And yeah, it all just kind of goes off from there. It's a little bit plot contrivance. It's like, oh, I'm glad landed on the planet where they needed to be on, for everything to happen and for them to discover the Forerunner conspiracy or whatever.
Yeah, the Halo array is a planet ring, essentially. And
Yeah, it's like a big old hoop, and
Yeah.
the world is like on the inside of the hoop. It's really cool.
if you ever read the novel Ringworld, you'll be surprised
that.
how Microsoft did not catch a lawsuit.
Well,
But
Very
I've heard
surprised.
that it's like similar in concept, but Ringworld is not story-wise like anything at all like Halo, so I guess that's
Yeah.
how they kind of get away with it.
funny
But it
enough,
is
they actually tried
it
to
is
get.
just a stolen concept, yeah.
Funny enough, though, they actually tried to get the writer to the Ringworld series to write the Halo novels, but he wasn't interested because he was like, "Well, I don't know this, so
The fuck is a Halo?
yeah, it's like I'm
Oh,
not
it's
really
like that
invested."
thing I
so,
made.
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't need some other guy to come in. I mean, respect to him, but he didn't, he'd just turn it into like his own thing. And we should talk about the Halo novels too, because they were surprisingly good. I remember reading them as a kid, and just being. I was on the GameSpot forums. I was like, "Are there any other what other books should I read that are kind of like this?" And everybody was just like, "I don't know, Fisher Price, because it's for babies. Read real
yeah,
books."
but
I'm
but
like, you haven't even
actually,
read them. These are interesting.
yeah, they're actually like trying to expand the world and tell a story, which Microsoft, they tried doing this with again other games. I've mentioned already twice this episode Brute Force, but they made a book for Brute Force.
Did they?
Yes, I'm the only person in the world who's ever read the Brute Force book.
I'm the only person that
Oh,
remembers
I'm
the
sure at
game.
least one other person has. You know,
Maybe,
maybe the author, maybe.
possibly.
Well, I wouldn't even expect that necessarily.
But no, Microsoft kept that up until like almost 2015 or 2016 because they did a book for Quantum Break, which
Oh yeah.
Oh
I
my
cannot
god.
remember the title for, but I own it.
Quantum Break, the Breakening.
The reckoning.
I'm almost certain it's called like Green Zone.
That's a horrible title. What the fuck?
That's what I said. I think it is, but they did one for the Alan Wake, the first one.
I mean, at least that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have a book based on the book game, I guess.
I'm pretty sure though they didn't do it for stuff like Crackdown, or I think they may have done a Fable one, but only for like the first game.
I think so, actually. Yeah, I remember reading about that
Wow,
when
I
I
don't
was,
remember
when I was
that.
attempting to play through them.
Yeah,
Fable would be a good game to turn into a book, yeah. It just kind of seems like a Discworld novel.
exactly. But yeah, there was the Fall of Reach, Contact Harvest, Coal Protocol,
Ghosts of Onyx.
Ghost of Onyx. Some of these, genuinely, I thought they could have turned into movies themselves. I'm gonna be real. Like the Fall of Reach.
Yeah, Fall of Reach would make a really good show. I really, it's a shame they didn't do that.
See,
Yeah.
here's the thing: people would actually hate my version of a Halo show because it would be like the first 6 seasons would basically be all of the training the Spartans. Like you would not get to the Halo arrays and shit for like 7 seasons. People would hate my version of it.
Oh yeah, that. To be
There's-
fair though, that actually sounds really fucking
Dane's
cool.
version of the Halo show would be longer than the One Piece show.
It would, because there's so much intrigue and shit in all of like the O&I espionage that like there is in the lore. It's like, yeah, you could make a fucking franchise out of that alone. Because the lore of the Spartans are they were to essentially quell the insurrection, which meant that these soldiers were basically meant to just come in and slaughter villages full of people. Like, they were trained to, be brutal hit squads. Effectively. Like, that's the lore.
Yeah.
And that alone could make a show of, like,
Yeah,
the fact that these were heroes of humanity only kind of came after the fact. Like,
yeah. Thankfully, the Covenant came along and gave the whole thing a bit of a a little bit of less moral grayness. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not quite so monstrous.
yeah. It's like when you, because that's what the show should have been. But again, I also am one of the people that liked the show, so hey, maybe I don't know anything. That's entirely possible.
Maybe.
Yes. Maybe? Question mark?
Funny? Question mark?
Yes?
Equals?
Laugh?
Loud.
Did I
Oh,
just...
first F.
I think I just got something for betraying you on accident. I think I set you on fire. I'm so sorry. I lost
Oh,
points.
nice.
I'm sorry. But yeah, no, the entire lore reasons behind the Spartan program is interesting and has so many disturbing implications. The games never really touch on them, which
Yeah, I mean the fact alone that they kidnapped kids that at a very young age to like experiment on them and make them into soldiers. You know, my little perfect fucking princess baby soldier.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
like Princess Maker, but with traumatized children.
Yes.
exactly,
Yeah.
In fact, that I'm pretty sure that's Halsey's exact inspiration.
Oh, I should have known.
yeah, they
It does
thankfully,
have some. It does have some overlap with Ender's Game, from what I understand.
yeah,
I only read the first book, but that was another one that was very like, we're the good guys, and then it's just like, here's fucking 400 pages on how the horrors of war and how we aren't the good guys.
yeah. It's like Orson Scott Card is also one of those writers where it's like he's a fucking weirdo, but he's had some like bangers.
Yeah, you can't ever discuss him without talking about what a weirdo he is.
Oh yeah, but hey, I mean, you know, Shadow Complex fucks, and I will debate anyone who says otherwise.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Although, does anyone remember? Was it Advent Rising?
The
Was
Final
that one
Fantasy
him?
thing?
No,
No.
it was an original Xbox game. Someone out there will remember
I
it, but it was
remember they had like a fucking contest to win something, and it was just like a fucking lie.
well, it wasn't a
Oh,
lie. It's
nice.
that somebody like hacked it really quick, and then everyone else
Oh,
started hacking it. So they're like, yeah, we're not offering this anymore.
damn.
Yeah, other people
Yeah,
fucked that up, and that's kind of tragic.
I mean, it's funny when you consider like Halo, huge game, big, momentous fucking cultural thing, but then, I don't know, most other Xbox games outside of like Fable were kind of just like a failure.
Yeah,
They might have been good, some
Yeah.
of them might have been really good, but they were
even
not
some of
popular, really. Even like Crackdown was not like a huge, Gears of War, I guess.
oh yeah, and the thing is, like Microsoft tried to court like a lot of weird, interesting talent. Like they had From Software early on doing the Otogi games, which I thought fucked hard, but again, they didn't sell well, so you know.
Yeah.
Also, they had
Halo somehow did really well. People bought the Xbox and they were just like, this is my Halo machine,
oh yeah,
and I will use it for nothing else ever.
the 360 became a COD and Halo machine after a certain point for a lot of people. And it
Mhm.
COD, Halo, FIFA. That was a
It's a
That's
damn
lot.
shame because Morrowind's on it.
Yeah, Morrowind, well,
Yeah, the
Oblivion
best
too.
version of Morrowind, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, better,
Well,
better than playing it through backwards compatibility, at least.
you know,
I
it's also an
guess.
impressive version. I mean, the fact that it can, the
True.
fact that it crashes itself to keep itself going is impressive. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty cool, but Halo, you know, it,
hey,
it just managed to squeeze everything out of the fucking console because, yeah, Bungie at that era were basically just, it was like 90s Rare or something.
oh yeah, and they still like. I mean, you know, Destiny, as much as it's maligned and has a lot of problems, they're still really good at like squeezing as much fidelity and visuals and shit out of everything they do. It's their strongest suit.
You'd think Mjolnir would be their strongest suit.
You'd think, right? Also, oh my god, we fucking amount of grenades.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, no, Halo 1 like was almost, it was a defining thing. Like Xbox tried to have mascots. There was Binks the Time Sweeper,
Oh, yeah.
which
Made by notorious good game developers, RTune or Rzest or whichever one it is, that also made Balan Wonderworld.
That's
Yeah.
true.
There's also
Only hits, honestly.
there's Grabbed by the Ghoulies, which I think is underrated. As you know, as maligned as it is, I think it's underrated.
Honestly, I've every single time I hear "Grabbed by the Ghoulies," my mind just glazes over it.
That's
Like
fair.
Yeah.
it just leaves my mind entirely.
Oh,
It
I've tried
is,
playing that game. I just find it extremely fucking boring. It's just like a real dull game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Xbox had a few good games. There were a few. There was Jet Set Radio Future. There was like
Yep.
Crazy
Yeah.
Taxi 3.
Sega
And there was Halo.
GT.
A lot of Sega games, really. Shenmue 2 was on that fucking
It
thing.
legitimately was the Dreamcast 2.
Yeah, big failure, ahead of its time.
well,
then it
the,
had a
the, the
sequel.
Xbox wasn't exactly a failure.
No,
Yeah.
it was better than the GameCube for sales, but, it just, I don't know. You think of, like, the PS2, and even the GameCube nowadays has, like, a long-standing legacy, but the Xbox just really does just kind of feel like the Halo machine, and maybe sometimes, Jet Set Radio Future or something, maybe Fable. There's not much like memory of the Xbox at this point, which is a shame because it was just such a cool console. And
What-
Halo was such a good fit for it. The green Master Chief on the weird sci-fi space green game console that had that like
Green
fucking
man on green console.
silly putty bullshit. I'm dead. Silly putty bullshit every time you start the game console up, and it's like a fucking fusion reactor starting.
Love that little
Yeah.
noise that it made.
It's like my favorite console startup. Everyone loves GameCube or PS2, but man, Xbox just is like this thing is alive and it's got some kind of alien intelligence inside of it.
Yeah,
It's going to kill me in my sleep.
it's ready to go. Yeah, that's what the little startup thing feels like. It feels like it's it's kicked on and it's ready.
Yeah, and if you like leave it for a little while, it just makes these weird ass like Martian ass sounds.
Oh yeah. Where like the GameCube had that also, where it's like if you listen to the ambient music sped up, it's it's one of the original like SNES.
It's the
or NES.
Famicom Disk System
Yeah.
music.
Boom,
Do
boom,
do 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 do.
Yeah.
I love that they just did like a fucking pull stretch on that to just take that and make it 600 times slower with bass boost and reverb effect.
It basically
hey, it
became
works.
YouTube poopers. It's amazing. My eyes. But yeah, no, like the original Xbox, it only lasted about like 4 or 5 years on the market before a new console came out. And we got 2 Halo games in that life cycle. We got Halo 1, which, it really did take off pretty well. It started LAN parties of consoles, which you didn't really see before.
Yeah, no online
Pretty
for
new.
Halo 1.
Yeah, it was pre-Xbox Live, too, which was... Yeah, we should talk about
Crazy
Xbox
to
Live
think.
for a second.
It's
because
just really funny to think about that too. Like the GameCube technically had online. You could play Phantasy Star Online on the GameCube. The PS2, you could play like Jack X Combat Racing, but the original Xbox, clearly its internet was the most popular of all of them, and yet it was the one that kind of took a fucking while.
Yeah, and its online would end up shaping the entire gaming landscape. Like Xbox Live, it did change everything. You can't deny that. Like
Yeah.
we would not be.
Not for the better, but
I mean,
it did.
yeah, not for like. I mean, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying like, it's the biggest change. Like, there is an internet before Xbox Live, and there's an internet after Xbox Live.
And coincidentally,
A lot
it
of
all got
slurs on
worse
the internet after Xbox Live.
worse and more paid for after Xbox Live. It's funny.
Yeah.
It turned out that way.
Well, I mean, especially back then, though, I can say like, even to the end of the 360 era, I do think you got what you paid for with Xbox Live. Like, it was consistently higher quality than PlayStation Network when that came around. It did not distinctly go down for like a month, like PSN did. It was a better service. It's just, yeah, it fucking sucked, but it cost money.
Yeah, you had to pay $60 for it.
Yeah,
For the
60
price
bucks
of
a
a
year.
for the price of an entire game, you got a year of playing the games that you already had online, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone
Also
always fought for
Netflix.
it because they were like, "Oh, well, it's a better service," and I'm like, I don't know if it's that much better than
I
like
can say
PS3 or something.
in hindsight, because I
It
played
was.
I played a lot of both. I like the PSN was nice because it was free, but the problem with it being free is there was no real consequence for hackers.
That's true. I remember Mag.
Oh, dude, I played
Oh
the fuck out
God,
of Mag.
Mag. Yeah.
Real quick, I'll explain Mag for everyone who does not remember Mag or was too young for Mag. Mag
All
was
3,482 million people that don't know what Mag is.
Mag was an interesting concept, though. It was a massively multiplayer online first-person shooter where you had up to 256 players in-game, and it actually worked. It was a good time. I genuinely liked it. It's just the biggest
It'd be
problem
cool to
is
have something like that nowadays that isn't a fucking battle royale.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, because it was more like Conquest or Rush from it was Battlefield basically, but with 256 players and trapped on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, and that was circling back around. That was one of the. I don't know if it was explicitly a Halo killer or meant to be, but it sure
Haze.
was.
Oh
It
yeah,
sure was part of that
Haze.
era of hazes and time shifts and all of that that all wanted to be the next Halo, or I guess even Killzone. I guess to slightly better
Yeah,
effect.
Killzone was designated the Halo killer, and to put it
It was
nicely,
not.
it did not do that.
No.
There was also Haze, which Ubisoft claimed would be a Halo killer, and it did not. The only thing it killed was Free Radical, which, thanks.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Uh, that one hurts
Yeah.
a lot.
It's always sad to think about the fallen.
Oh, yeah. Um, but now to really think about it, though, is like, the only thing that could kill Halo ended up being Halo, and it was mostly the mismanagement of Halo that killed Halo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, even early on, going into Halo 2, it's like they just didn't really give them enough time to really properly finish it. People argue that it's like, technically it's got like a beginning, middle, and end and everything, but it's just it
Yeah.
really fucking wraps up really quickly, and clearly parts of 3 were meant to, maybe be brought to fruition in 2 in one way or another.
Yeah, it's one of
Yeah,
those.
have y'all heard of the original ending of 2?
I have not.
No, I might have. I don't remember though.
Basically, it was almost the entirety of Halo 3, but without like the fluff. And also, Arbiter finds a skeleton of a Forerunner, and it looks very human.
Hmm.
Thank you, 343.
I mean, we'll get there when we get there, because I've got some interesting takes on the Prometheans, but we'll save that for when we get there.
Sure you do, Bane.
It'll be something you may agree with.
Bane loves Halo 4. It's his favorite.
I like Halo 4. I actually don't hate Halo 4, but
Yo, check out that fucking brute laying down on thin air down there. He's just taking a little nap.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dudes rock.
That's how I feel right now.
Real.
uh,
That's how I was like an hour ago.
So yeah, leading into Halo 2 though, yeah, Xbox Live was built up enough to where it would be playable on Xbox Live, and Halo 2, like, to put it in a lot of ways, it was bigger, better, bolder as a sequel. It really was. It was like the launch lead up of Halo 2 is something I could not I don't think another game has recreated since. Like, it was on Times Square. It was tattooed on fucking Peter Moore's arm.
Oh god, the tattoo.
I still wonder if that's a real tattoo.
That was a real tattoo.
Super wasn't.
No,
I
no,
doubt
no,
it.
hang on. That was a real one because if you remember when we did the GTA 4 one, you could still see it.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like, I mean, mind you, I'm running off memory, but I remember seeing a fucking thing, and I, like...
Wait, which one was it again? Which guy is this?
Peter Moore, the guy who was
God.
EA previously, and then...
Yeah, you know him if you saw him.
Admittedly,
Yeah.
he looks... funny enough, because he's British and this will sound racist, he looks like Peter Molyneux.
Well,
It does,
yeah.
Like, they
like Peter Molyneux, but if he was allowed to live to his like his 60s.
Yeah, it's like if he
Peter
was normal.
Molyneux if he was a bigger liar.
I mean, he admittedly, Peter Moore was like one of the better Xbox executives.
I guess, yeah. It's hard to pick ones that are good, but the fucking cokehead Ballmer and Don Matrick are not high on the list.
Yeah. Although he was a part of the smart decision to save Xbox when they almost died. Which
was he there at the beginning?
No, he came in like right around like 2003.
Well, you know, he turned the console around a little bit, I guess, you know.
Oh yeah, and when the Red Ring issue, he was one of the ones who was like, "Yeah, we got to start repairing all of these fucking things, despite the cost."
Yeah, they got to eat that cost.
Which, hey,
we're gonna.
If it wasn't for that, the Xbox brand would not be here today.
It sure wouldn't. No, I think when we get to Halo 3, we'll talk about that a bit more.
Yeah.
But was there anything else to say about Halo 1, or are we well and truly on to 2 now?
The library sucks.
Oh yeah.
But you didn't need me to tell you that.
It's a cool idea for a level, but it's not a great execution.
Yeah, it feels like it lasts about 30 minutes too long.
It's about an
mission.
The whole game, as I recall, basically the library is like the last interesting level, and then everything else is just kind of, hey, it's this area again, but now there's like hunters, you know.
To be fair, I really like that.
I
mean,
it's not so bad. It just feels a little lazy.
Yeah, I like creative use of of older levels.
Yeah,
and then the way they use the last level is kind of reusing Pillar of Autumn, but it's like crashed and fucking falling apart. It's definitely memorable. A classic moment.
Exactly.
Oh. Halo 1 has, I think it's like the most consistent. There's a lot of stuff that the later games add that are maybe better, but I think Halo 1, you're always gonna have a good time.
It's also a very strong first impression too.
Yeah, it's all killer, no filler. You don't get a bunch of stupid. You get some flood levels, but they're not all bad. Yeah. Library is just like a weird side thing, It's like, okay, library sets you up for the later flood levels that are like fucking annoying and bad.
Yeah.
Like in Halo 3.
No, yeah. So yeah, leading into Halo 2, from Halo 1, it kind of ends, we're off the ring, we got out.
Yeah, I got fucking blown up.
Yeah, we end up back at Cairo Station, which Cairo Station is very iconic.
Yeah, it's a space station on one of the like space elevators that Earth has.
Yeah, and the Covenant shouldn't know where we are.
Yeah,
but
how would they know where Earth is? We've been keeping it a secret.
Exactly, but somehow the Covenant returned.
No!
I had to throw that in there. I'm sorry.
Halo 2 is, I'm realizing now, it's more or less just the plot of Doom 2 also. It's just the first game, but on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with, like, some more enemies and weapons.
I memean, it's the typical sequel idea of, go bigger, bigger stakes, bigger action.
Yeah.
Big or deep.
And what bigger stakes are the Covenant knowing, humanity's home world, which was, something you were
Yeah,
never supposed to know.
it's implied that like Earth is basically it for humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, after Reach and everything.
Not really many other like decent sized colony worlds.
I mean, like, legitimately, humanity's on the back foot by the time of Halo 2. Like, we're not...
Humanity's on the back foot by well before Halo 1.
I mean,
Yeah.
but this is like, dire straits. And
I love that band.
exactly. Hey, Sultan's a swing the Master Chief has planned in his head all the time. That's what Cortana really does, secretly.
Yeah,
That's her
she's
goal.
just swinging.
Yes. But they really expanded the world, put the stakes in a higher, again, it is the sequel tradition of bigger, better, bolder kind of shit.
Louder, uncut.
Exactly.
Louder, funnier.
Yes. Equals.
Yeah, or
Yeah, even more equals.
yeah.
Double the
equals
amount
are
of
more-
equals per.
Some equals are
loud
more
and
equal
funny.
than others. Yeah.
So another thing I'll ask: did you guys so when did you guys first play Halo 2?
It was after Halo 1 and 3 for me.
Okay, so you played 3
Yeah,
first?
it was definitely around like 2008 or something, I'd say.
I feel that. This is one I picked it up on launch week. I played the shit out of it. At a very young age, I tried to go professional at this game. Halo 2.
Nice.
And I still hold up. If I had been a couple years older, I probably could have done it.
Do you know the button combos by heart?
I do. Well, I did. I don't anymore. Some of it's, down to, like, getting slower. I noticed my reaction time is slower.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That's
too.
fair.
Yep. It's
So
one of
Halo
those...
2, I mean, Halo 2 was like a fucking phenomenon when it came out. And talking about like playing it online just reminded me of like all of the news reports of like how big of a launch Halo 2
This
had.
video game is the biggest that's ever launched.
Yeah, it was like... I think in its first day, like, it sold, 1.5 million copies. That was something I heard in like prep for this.
Yeah, it was. I think the most pre-ordered game ever at the time.
Yeah, it's insane, and it only gets bigger with Halo 3, and Halo 3 is like the biggest this series kind of ever gets.
Yeah, Halo 3, I mean, the ad campaigns and everything. I mean, I really fondly remember the Halo 2. I need a weapon. Halo 3 has some of the best fucking gaming commercials ever. Just the one where it's all frozen and then he looks up and he has the grenade.
Oh,
that was Halo 3.
Halo 3. I mean, was that the same? That it was Halo 3 that also had the like war veterans talking about their
the Believe ad campaign is so fucking good.
Yeah.
It
makes a lot of sense why that was such a fucking popular game.
Yeah,
advertised it well.
They put so much money into this, and like the only other one that I think got close, the amount of money they actually pumped into it was probably 5. I don't know if you remember 5's marketing campaign, but they were all
where they lied to everyone. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Hunt to the truth.
We'll talk about that because I genuinely
the truth is that Halo 5 wasn't very good.
I genuinely want to talk about Halo 5's marketing campaign when we do you guys have to listen to the podcast they put out, which I genuinely had me hyped. No, it's some of the best storytelling of the Halo universe, and it's for a podcast that essentially was about a lie.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. It's the stuff that so did I. The stuff
Rest in peace, Sergeant Johnson.
The stuff that 343 has done with the series has been really unfortunate, but also just like it's like, man, how hard did you fucking fumble this shit? It's so embarrassing. Like Halo, Bungie's Halo, it's really good, but it's not like it's the most complicated thing in the world, and the groundwork was already laid out in front of them. They could have easily just fucking picked it up, but they've consistently fumbled it for over 10 years now.
And they fumble it in interesting ways. Each time there's something where it's like, oh, that one part's really good, but that other part sucks so much dick.
Yeah. And Halo 2, I mean, it came out and it was like fucking chopped to shit by, I mean, not really, but like it was rushed by Microsoft because of
Yeah, it
deadlines.
definitely it wasn't as complete as I think Bungie would have wanted it to be. I mean, the whole last ending was cut essentially.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
they wanted they wanted this game out because 1 year later, pretty much almost to the day, they released the Xbox 360.
Honestly, I think they probably just should have waited. Make that a 360 launch title. Wouldn't that have been something?
Would have been fucking massive, man.
It would have been one of the best. I mean, they should have. If I was them, I would have done a cross-gen release
Yeah,
because it's like, yeah, fuck it, do as best graphics as you can on the 360, and then do what you can on the original Xbox. Fuck it.
Yeah, they could have gone Twilight Princess with it. It would have been probably an interesting idea. But it's just interesting to think, like, yeah, I guess Bungie just is that much more talented, or this era of Bungie was more focused, because they had so much shit against them and they made some of the best games ever, and then fucking 343 had everything going for them and just can't land a single one.
Yeah,
It's really embarrassing.
and it's weird because there are things they do that end up being kind of good, or like
Yeah,
once they're
like
fixed,
you
they're
say.
pretty interesting. Like, well, once the Master Chief Collection was fixed, I mean, it's not perfect, but
Yeah, 5 years after it came out or something, it was finally competent, you know.
yeah,
yeah. Five entire years of no fixes, but then they put it on PC and it fixed everything.
And funny how quickly
Almost
that
everything.
did everything. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, Halo, like Infinite, it took a long time for its multiplayer to get into a spot that was, oh shit, actually pretty decent. Like, we haven't tried Infinite as a group, but I've played it. It's fine. They just added a third person mode recently, which I don't know how I feel about.
Huh?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they
I think
added
that broke my brain. What the fuck?
they added a
Third
third person
person
mode.
Halo. Well, yeah, they got to go for the Fortnite money.
I mean, I think it's interesting. I don't know how to work.
Yeah, I tend to like a good third person, but that
I
just
think for
seems
Halo,
very
maybe not.
suspect as to why.
I mean, I think it try to appeal to people, see if they can get new people in, which I mean, it's
See
admirable, I
if Halo can
guess.
appeal to somebody.
uh,
It's a pretty small indie franchise, so they're having trouble marketing it.
it's a very niche, okay, it's kind of like trip hop.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
Metroid Prime 2. It's not for everyone.
it's like
Yeah,
getting into your local music scene. You know?
yeah, it's kind of a new punk rock.
Yeah,
In reality, Halo is a new punk rock.
that's true.
Oh God. But like two really did like it pushed online console gaming to a new stratosphere. Like you know, matchmaking was not something that console games had, or even like a lot of PC games had. Where it's like you just click a lobby and wait, and you'll find people. That's so commonplace now that like it sounds like a joke when I'm saying it like this.
Yeah, back then it was all servers,
Yep.
and sadly, the reliance on matchmaking did kind of ruin a lot of games
Yes.
later. But for Halo 2, it was perfect.
It was such a cool concept, and yeah, while it, the consequences of that action has ruined a lot of games, it's still cool as shit. Like just being able to like instantly go to a lobby full of people and have a good time in like 30 seconds was something so new. And a lot of games ended up, following suit, taking that format.
Yeah, Halo was, a great game that spelled doom and disaster for the fucking industry.
Oh yeah. Well,
Uh,
they learned
it's
from
really a
wrong
shame.
lessons. What works for one doesn't always work for everything. They did not learn that
Yeah,
lesson. The industry is very pick and choose about lessons, and some of the ones it picks and some ones it chooses are hilarious.
Hmm.
Because I would not say that every game needs to have this kind of matchmaking. I don't even think COD needs this kind of matchmaking, but it's got it. But it works for Halo.
Hooray!
Oh,
Yeah, but Halo hasn't worked for like 20 years.
Yeah. Womp womp. But then, like, it still bolstered a lot of those, positive things, like genuinely having good LAN support still, and just genuinely playing better than one. I think Halo 2 plays better than the first game, with a couple of rare exceptions. And those rare exceptions being some of the dual wield weapons don't always work properly, and that's it.
Yeah.
yeah. Sadly, the Needler took a really, really big fucking nerf. Same with the pistol. Oh my god, the
Pistol's the
pistol.
big
Oh
one,
yeah.
yeah.
Although with
I mean,
dual wielded needlers, you can still kind of like fuck people up, but yeah, the needler in one is far, far superior.
Well, for
Yeah.
context, for anyone who's not super aware, the Halo 1 pistol is legendary for. I mean, it's basically a pocket rapid fire sniper rifle.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. It's what the media depicts the Desert Eagle as, but it actually is that.
It doesn't even jam.
Oh yeah, never jams, always hits, always fucking kills. It's perfection.
Yeah, the Halo 1 pistol is where it's fucking at. Even in Cursed Halo, where you use it to throw at people. Still a fun weapon.
It makes surprisingly a great throwing weapon.
Yeah. To this day, I'm like, I want to see an actual thing have a guy who uses a throwing pistol as a weapon.
It could make for a good time.
Halo, I remember talking about Halo 1 again. Halo 1, the PC version, I remember having some interesting mods back in the day. Like we've been playing the whenever we do Halo night, we often do the Metroid modes. But there were like I remember there were some cool ones. I think probably those ones like, just on their own, but I never played them back in the day. Nowadays you play them and it's like this fucking cool shit. It's just full Metroid Prime mode. And like, wow, they fucking put this into Halo, and it's extremely fun. And not a series known all that much for its modding necessarily.
Yeah.
But there are some really cool ones out there, and as we get further along, I don't think 2 had the Forge yet, right?
No,
Nah,
no.
three had
the
Forge.
Right. Yeah. So 2 was did 2 have any kind of like custom game type stuff at all?
It did.
You could make a custom game type, but that was about the extent of it.
Yeah, you just change the parameters. You wouldn't Forge, which came in 3, would be genuinely a game changer because it's a custom map tool that's also very intuitive and fun to use.
In later games, it's very intuitive and fun to use.
I'm also comparing it to like map editing tools before.
Yeah. It's
still comparatively to a lot of map making tools, it's fun to use and easy to use.
Yeah.
And in 4, like shockingly 4, 5, and Infinite, it does become way more like user friendly.
I would say even as early as Reach, yeah.
Even in Reach, it's like way easier to mesh things and like put them in things properly and not fuck things up. But yeah, no. 2's big thing was online, and it was also made in a very short amount of time, kind of in a patchwork.
Yeah, another one where it's just a fucking miracle that it managed to be good, let alone
actually release in a playable state. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Considering like the amount of time they basically had, which was not a lot, and they had a overambitious start, which then led to them having to like cut things and trim things.
Rushing reality. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
hey, they got Keith David for the final thing. It can't all be bad.
Keith David, bringing
the absolute legend.
A bunch of the same cast from the original. Sergeant Johnson, who, everyone thought was dead but wasn't dead.
Well, you can't have
Wait,
Halo
wait,
without
man,
Sergeant
man,
Johnson.
come here.
Yes. Oh.
Hello, my name's Sergeant Johnson. I am not dead.
Hey, we got Sergeant Johansson over there. Whoa, shit. Little buggers. But yeah, no, like they brought back a bunch of people, Miranda Keys, you know, really keeping continuity also, which the later Halo games would do the same problem that the Silent Hill, like the later Silent Hill games would, where it's like they want to have a continuity, but they throw things out all the time. So
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Who are the
Yeah.
Forerunners? Maybe we'll never know.
Maybe we
We
are
probably
alone.
won't.
Maybe we are alone.
Presumably,
Wait.
Halo sexual privilege.
We will have to save doing that again for the Halo 4
Halo
episode.
4, yes.
Yes.
We're gonna have a whole episode dedicated to Halo 4, in particular those horrible little guys that fly with the shields.
Would you happen to call it an ode to Halo 4? Paul?
Oh,
Possibly.
Yes.
In fact, that's actually a really good fucking title.
I'm feeling wonderful already,
We really
Bane. I really
fuck. We're gonna have to
am.
do its own separate Halo 4 episode. Fuck.
We just an ode to Halo 4, 5, and 6, or whatever.
Okay, that works. That works for me.
No.
An ode to the Reclaimer saga.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be a saga.
I don't know if you remember if they called the first saga.
The Covenant saga? The Halo saga?
The real Halo trilogy.
The Halo saga. Yeah, I don't know.
You know, it's funny when you think about all the stuff, though. Like, people talk about, we're all trapped in the same media forever. Ghostbusters remakes and fucking The Simpsons never ending.
What are next?
Hey, you know, Halo's been like shit for a long time. You know, eventually people aren't going to want a new Halo, and that's when they sneak in with a real new Halo. You know?
Ooh,
I gotta keep. They're trying to keep us hooked.
Yeah.
like a good
Once
crack
we-
dealer.
Once we stop caring and we're all like, when's Crackdown 4? You know, that's when they're like, Halo!
Honestly, yeah. When is Crackdown for Microsoft?
It's not happening. They fucked it up.
I'm fine with not knowing when Crackdown 4 is.
Very sad stuff.
I mean,
I weep every day for Crackdown.
if they were willing to make Crackdown 3 after Crackdown 2, so
Yeah.
I think Microsoft's down for anything really.
I'm pretty sure it took a while for them to make Crackdown 3, right?
Yeah, it was like fucking
Yeah, but
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, but I think not for lack of trying.
Fair.
You know, we might have to do a Microsoft focused episode based on all their dumb, weird things they never stuck with when they should have.
Oh, yeah.
That
The
could be
Milo.
that could be an 8-hour episode.
I could talk for hours just on Milo.
Oh
We could get Milo Yiannopoulos on, too. It'll be great.
Yes.
hell yeah! Does he understand what a Kinect is? Has he played a video game?
Maybe he played that Postal 2 expansion that featured him.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez. We should play that at some point and see how horribly that holds up, rather.
Well, thankfully there was no Halo 2 expansion featuring him.
Yeah.
But Halo 2 it was the first one to have map packs, right?
Yeah, it was one of the
Yes.
first console games to have proper DLC also, yeah. It had, I think, 2 or 3 map packs, and I remember playing all of them. And then there was
I'm
some
pretty
maps
sure it was
only
just.
for... Oh, go on.
I'm pretty sure it was actually just one.
No, I think there was 2, because there was one that was on a disc, but I remember there was one that was separate from a disc-based one that came out.
Oh.
I remember that. There's also Halo
Yeah,
2
they
Vista.
definitely... Well, yeah, we talked about that.
That exists. Yeah.
Yes.
Best to just forget about that one.
They had its own exclusive maps, too.
They really thought they were... Are those in MCC?
They are.
Okay.
Same with
Yeah,
all
they
of
really
the
thought they
custom
were gonna-
edition special ones.
They thought they were gonna sell fucking the Vista on Halo 2.
Well, they were trying
Which,
to get
to be
Vista
fair,
to be
it
the
was-
gaming one.
Yeah, it was pretty massively popular, so I guess that's not the worst idea in the world, but man, Halo Vista sure was the worst idea in the world.
Yeah, Vista was, to put it nicely, not good. It was Microsoft's attempt at being like, hey, let's go a little lighter. Let's go a little, let's try to be, spacey with our UI, and it didn't work.
No, it did not.
It was an awful experience for anyone who ever had to use Vista. I had Vista, and it was dreadful.
It wasn't great. Yeah.
It genuinely like was slower than it was slower than XP.
Not what you want from your new OS.
Yeah,
And
it was brand new and it was slower than the outgoing operating system. It's like
no
that's
amount of no amount of Halo in the world could have helped that situation.
yeah, it's like Gears of War might be great, sure. Playing it on it was fun. But
Is that also Vista only?
it was Vista only. And it kind of ran a little goofy on PC. I inevitably like when 7 came out, it was an instant switch just because it was better than what we had.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they actually had to like push Vista out, well, not push 7 out because Vista was so bad.
Essentially,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure yes.
It
And
was
they
kind of
mostly
an
just reverted back
apology.
to they were mostly just reverted back to a lot of the XP stuff.
Yeah, like I think Vista and 8/8.1 have the lowest shares. Even today, there's still a lot of XP because there's a lot of
Mm.
poorer places.
Yeah, I mean it's still good for a VN rig, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting to think about Halo and Microsoft during all this time, because yeah, this was the era of like the Zune and everything, you
Yep.
know. And yet
Microsoft.
Finally. The iPod
somehow,
killer.
somehow these games were really good, and I don't even know how they managed it. You know,
Bungie.
Bungie was just, but then Bungie went on to make Destiny. I don't know if we can attribute everything to
I mean,
Bungie.
I
people
mean,
like Destiny, and also a lot of the people who worked on Halo did still stay for 343.
yep.
It's just the big creative minds that actually made Halo good are the ones that
Fucked off.
they left and they didn't even stay for Bungie. They just kind of fucked off and did other things.
Yeah, some of them
Yeah.
stayed in the industry, some of them didn't. It was a weird time. But yeah, so to expand of a story, from just one ring to being kind of globe trotting from Earth to like different planetary biomes to another like a bunch of ships and stuff. It was interesting.
Yeah, I really liked Halo 2. Honestly, I think if I were to go for just the campaign,
Yeah.
moment to moment story and like variety of levels, I would say that that's probably the best one. It might not be my favorite. I mean, I love fucking ODST,
Yeah.
but I do think that that's probably the best when it comes to like as objective of a quality as you could probably put on it.
Yeah, unless you're playing on Legendary.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Halo 2, yeah, I mean, I think any game that comes out that is, I know I keep harping on it, but just fucked over by time and Microsoft generally and everything, and yet, fucking the most respect is given to a situation like that.
Yeah.
You get like Infinite, and it's like, how did you fuck this up? Even for it to just be kind of fine, it's like embarrassing. But
It got
Halo 2, against all odds, pretty brilliant.
yeah, it even got its own delay and it's still kind of like rough. Because if you remember, Infinite was supposed to launch at the launch of a console.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
It
They
was
put
on the
it on the
box.
box. Yeah.
Yep. That's kind of hard to think about as like, how do you let that get delayed? Or it's like how
By
do you not let
horribly
that
mismanaging your whole company, Bane.
Yeah.
I love. I just, you know, it's unbelievable when you had something that successful for them to have basically just thrown in the towel now.
I mean, I don't think they've thrown in the towel entirely. I do feel like we're gonna get hopefully the next one in a good state. But mind
I
you,
don't
I'm
know
in.
why you think that when phones are Xboxes now.
Yeah, that's an Xbox.
I mean,
Yeah.
You see that? It's
See that box? That's an Xbox.
I think it is a very dumb marketing campaign, but I'm just hoping and praying that they don't fuck up the next one.
here's hoping.
Here is
Well, that's what Halo people have been hoping and praying for a long time. Wow, I did bad on that one.
Let's see.
I had it
We
kinda rough.
are about an hour and a half. All right. Well, actually, probably just an hour.
Mine's at an hour 25.
Oh.
So yeah, we should start talking about 3, and I think 3 is where we're gonna stop for this episode probably. Once.
I think we want to do ODST too. It's only right if we're doing Firefight.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go to ODST.
So Halo 3.
Yes.
Oh, that was my second Halo game.
It
My
was.
first was ODST. I have a bias.
That's fair.
Nice.
Halo 3 was my first. Not my first, my third. I'm high. Cut me slack. And I remember like everything leading up to that fucking launch. Like,
Yeah, it was huge. I knew about it.
it was so fucking big.
I knew about all the Halo games. To
I
be
think
fair,
I wasn't following it because that was the era where I was still like waiting for Project Hammer to come out on the Wii.
oh
And I'm
god,
like, any day now.
Hey, you know, you never know.
It could still happen. There's nothing to say it won't.
one of these days.
You know, with all the weird shit that's leaked out over the last couple of years, it could leak out any day. So that's
I
something
hope
to
so,
think
man.
about.
I hope so. Yeah, no, that was the era definitely when I was still all like mainly into Wii speculation and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oop, let me take a drink here.
But Halo 3 was definitely massive in spite of my ignorance.
But yeah, it sold I think 3 million in its first like week. It was
Wow.
so fucking big. And I think by the time like they stopped reporting numbers, it sold like 15 million copies or some shit.
That was actually like huge for the time.
Yeah, it
Like
was
15 million nowadays is probably like, yeah, that was good, but we expected more because we're fucking Square Enix and we're stupid.
yeah, well, Square Enix, like, you could give them $1 billion and they'd be like, well, it didn't hit our expectations.
Yeah, you know, I wanted $1.5 billion.
Yeah.
And we're looking for 2.
Didn't make all the money in the world that it possibly ever could, so it's a failure.
Yeah. I think the Halo, like, even in its diminished state now, like, I think it could still pull off 15 million with its next release if it's successful enough, but it seems like it's a peak of the series. Like, 15 million
Well,
is crazy.
it's pretty good. I mean, there's. It sounds like they're probably putting it on fucking PlayStation now. So
Oh geez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hell's looking awful cold nowadays, you know?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what they say. Phil Spencer says there's no red lines, so I mean,
yeah, which just means they're doing it basically.
the thing I would do is I would do the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, why
Well,
not?
They're
They're old games.
Well, legitimately, I think they should do that with the Switch too. Also, it's like, you know, fuck it, make the money, but then make
You
your
get the money.
well, like make your make the Master Chief Collection, make that multi-platform, but then make Halo 7, which is what it will be. It'll be Halo 7. I don't think they're rebooting.
No, they're gonna call it Halo Infinity Plus 2.
Well, have you heard?
Halo 11.
Have you heard the rumor that again, it's a rumor, and I really hope it's false because I think it'd be dumb to reboot it. But supposedly the rumor is a actual reboot.
Yeah, you know what?
See it happening.
If they reboot back to like post Halo 3 Halo Reach, okay, maybe.
I mean,
Yeah, just do the old thing everyone said they wanted Nintendo to do for Other M. Just make it like Covenant fan fiction, like anti-fan fiction.
Yeah.
Like it's all
Propaganda.
disinfo. Yeah, it's propaganda to make the humans look bad or something, you know.
I mean, when I think like, I because we'll talk about the story stuff in Infinite. I think there's enough room in Infinite. They could kind of just go wherever the fuck they want after that ending, where it's like they could just kind of, travel the stars, do shit. The like they kind
Yeah,
of
but that will require cool ideas and soul.
yeah.
Yeah, someone involved is gonna have to give a shit again, and apparently no one in the industry gives a shit about Halo enough to make one. Except for the millions of fans who would do it in a heartbeat if given the opportunity.
Yeah.
And probably do better.
I mean, it would be interesting to see. Again, we're saving stuff for later. We're trying to save some stuff for later, but it would be interesting to see where they would go with a post Infinite Halo. I think, and it was originally set up to have like DLC expanding it, but then they kind of realized the engine they have kind of sucks. They want to, they don't want to train people on the engine again. Like apparently that's been the big reason they've had bad turnover is like they spend so much time training people to work the engine when if they already knew Unreal, it would probably just be easier to get people going and get things moving.
See, this wouldn't be a problem if the game industry didn't keep fucking firing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Microsoft.
So Microsoft.
Microsoft, huh?
Microsoft.
I hear Microsoft, I get shivers down my spine.
I hear Microsoft, I hear a whistling sound in my ear.
They get in a cold spell and start shaking and then start trying to report the bodies again. Yeah. Also, I keep accidentally hitting my fucking left trigger while moving. That's great.
That's a shame. Don't do that next time.
I will take that advice to heart. Weapon drop. But yeah, no. Halo 3 though, it was so fucking huge. It had the spotlight of everything. It was like every
massive.
commercial. It was airing commercials like before E3. Like in like March, it was airing commercials. Which is crazy. It had such a big lead up. It had the marketing budget of a fucking movie, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't a launch console, a launch title either.
Oh yeah.
Like if it was, then yeah, sure. Put your put your funny trailers up anytime. But this was like what 3 years into the 360's lifespan.
This
Maybe
would have been
2?
about 2 or 3. Oh yeah, this would have been about 3. Oh god, I just fell.
Oh,
Damn.
I saw that happen. It was heart wrenching.
I just looked down. I'm like, oh no. But yeah, so about 3 years into the console, this was after like the same year as COD 4, which like again to put that into perspective as well. COD 4 was one of the
Mario Galaxy.
it was a crazy stacked year. BioShock 1, like
Fucking Stalker Shadow Chernobyl.
yeah,
Mass Effect.
Mass
Was that
Effect.
2007?
I think so.
Plus
Yeah,
Oblivion was around that time.
it was. If you had a 360 that year, especially, was like
It was huge.
crazy. And the 360, to put that into perspective, also, it was ahead of the PlayStation 3 and the Wii by a whole year, which, business-wise, that was a good decision, although, that led to, them cutting certain corners and leading to the 360 having to deal with one of the biggest tech hardware failures ever.
Yeah, definitely the most infamous.
Yeah, the only
kind of
one
still just the poster boy, like the thing you turn to as to describe horrible tech failure.
the only one that like comes close to a level of being like, oh fuck, that's bad, is like the Galaxy Note issues when it would explode.
Yeah.
Like it took a while for
Or
Microsoft to get beat by that.
what was the car? The Volkswagen that was exploding. Also,
Pinto,
The Pinto.
it was more recent than that.
maybe.
I think
There
I
might
know,
be a new one that I just don't know
I know
of.
there was one that was having some issues, but I didn't remember if it was exploding or not. Oh, that was awful. Sorry. But yeah, no, like the 360 was the king at that time, and it was only dethroned by the PS3 at the ass end of its life cycle.
Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, the PS3 actually won that generation because it got more sales," but
It's like at the end.
like coming in at the end and just barely like eking by with a win isn't exactly what I would call being a winner.
Not when
Like,
the whole generation was defined
yeah,
by bros playing the 360 and calling each other the N word.
like
Yeah.
basically everyone who didn't have not counting the Wii, of course, because
Yeah,
the
Wii
Wii was
number
fucking
one. Wii was
massive.
number one for sure, but
But the 360 defined that generation.
In terms of real game consoles for actual gamers, the 360.
Yeah, not that baby shit for
Yeah,
gay
fucking
people.
Mario, how gay.
in fact, would we be like? Is it okay to be considered like? We'll consider the fact
Gay?
that like
Yes.
No, shut up.
It's okay to be gay, man. It's all right.
I understand. Hey, I respect that. But no, like the Nintendo didn't really get a lot of like first party, like not first party, but like first part of a generation respect until like the Switch, like because the Switch could play, real games for what people thought. Like it didn't have a nerfed version of most games outside of visuals.
Well,
outside of visuals,
outside of visually. Oh
like,
boy,
if it tried to do Wolfenstein: The New Order on the Wii, it would have to be its own version, and it's
yeah, we have to have
shop
like
till you drop.
unique controls.
yeah, it's like at the very least now they'll put the
They
real
do
game
Dead
on
Space
there.
on the Wii.
They did. It was a
I
rail
think
shooter.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Rail shooter.
no.
It was actually pretty
The
good.
only one that ever made a really good transition was the game Skate because the motion controls were actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, and it actually wasn't like a shitty version too.
No, it was good. It's just Skate.
But yeah, the Wii typically got like a lot of weird PSP ports also, like games that were made for PSP.
Same with late stage
Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
PS2.
Oh yeah. It was an interesting time, but yeah, I'm glad that certain things have changed, and that's one of them.
I like that this whole topic has turned into just general nostalgia for video games in that era.
Kind of has.
I like it.
Halo
Maybe we should
yeah.
we should name this one like Halo plus others or something like that.
Halo
this
plus
this will still be Halo. This will still be Halo.
5th and 6th gen, I guess. I don't know.
This will still be Halo, because we're about to go back into Halo talk. But yeah, no, just that time was very interesting, and now, like, I mean, the Master Chief Collection is a proof that, like, yeah, there's still a want for these kinds of games in the style of Halo, and this should have probably been the plan for Infinite, or at least, like, admittedly, yeah, this would have been the plan for Infinite, because 5 came out around the same time as this, so... But, like, this sold better than, like, the Master Chief Collection, with it being mostly Bungie's work. This sold better than 5.
To be fair, that might also just be because, well, I mean, I don't want to give too much credit to Halo 5, but it also might be mostly because this is like 4 games in one at launch, and now it's 6. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. 6 with the PC version having mod support, which makes it infinitely replayable.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking mods on this thing are crazy now. If you're not part of the Loud Equals Funny / Deadwing Dork server Halo Nights,
Yes.
man, I mentioned earlier, there's Metroid Prime, Halo CE, there's a SpongeBob Krusty Krab map, there's
a bad SpongeBob map.
Of course, there's Cursed Halo, which I think Halo 3 is pretty... I would say that's the one we play the most, right?
Yeah, it's got
Reach.
silly weapons, but it's not like...
Well, not even just Cursed, but just in general, 3 is the one
we play Halo a lot.
Yeah.
Halo 3 a lot.
Yeah.
For
Reach
me, I
is
think it's
also
just
good because it has some good customization and good game modes, but like
it has
it doesn't
fantastic custom games.
it doesn't feel as good to play as 3. I don't know.
But
Halo 3 was just something special, I think.
it really
Yeah.
was. Like, it had a very expansive story mode. I think it was.
One of those. It's one of those things that's of its time, but not dated either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels just. It feels like of a moment in gaming. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. Where it's like.
This is the moment that defined a generation.
Well, it really was something that
Remember,
defined the
fucking,
Xbox. Or defined the Xbox
it's time to go
Live
back
generation, I should
and
say.
experience the magical moment that defined a generation.
But,
Now
like,
on VHS, Pingle Bingle and the Sprunky Donkey.
yeah.
Note
Oh,
2.
hopefully they
Judgment
find the
Day.
Gingle Doof.
Oh, God, I'm getting sucker grenades. But yeah, like, the
I think I should
360...
have turned all skulls off, probably.
it's fine. But the 360 really, like, Xbox Live expanded even more than it had with the original Xbox. Like, it was...
Yeah, it was there for the 360's launch.
Yeah, it was there day one, ready to go. It had movies available to rent and purchase. It had Microsoft points for those who remember that.
Yeah, the Xbox Live obviously originates with the original, but it certainly defines the 360.
I sure do love funny obfuscating currencies.
Hey man, I
Yeah.
had 1,600 Microsoft points, and I just knew that meant a good amount.
That's all you need, really.
Yeah,
It really
that's
was.
however much you get with a card,
Yeah.
I don't know how much it costs. I just know that 1,600's a big number.
The Microsoft point system was very intriguing, and it didn't really work very well.
No.
Although,
Yeah, like at least Wii points kind of made sense because you get 2,000 for $20.
yeah, it was $100.
You could kind of convert it to a yen.
Yeah. But the only thing I remember about the Xbox Live points, Microsoft points, was there was a live game show that you could win money, 1 versus 100, which we'll talk about.
Oh God,
Maybe
yeah.
we'll talk about sometime down the road. I want to get footage to show people who didn't play it what it was like, but I'm not doing that right now, and we're not talking about that tonight.
Huh.
But
Yeah, some other time. I remember the actual TV show version.
I do too. It was a good time. But it was also hosted by the dad from Full House, right? I think so.
Bob Saget?
Yeah, I think it was hosted by Bob Saget.
Maybe.
America's Funniest Home Videos?
The America's Funniest Home Videos guy. I'm 70% certain.
I think you might just be mixing it up with America's Funniest Home Videos.
I could entirely be mixing up America's Funniest Home Videos, but
all I know is my favorite actor on that show is Cobb Salad, the guy who played the dad.
yeah.
Honestly, I think mine is the horse that kills the girl on the final episode.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Understandable.
Yeah, Fuller House was a very different show dealing with that.
It really was.
Yeah.
The interpretive
We miss
dance...
Mary Kate and / Laura Ashley.
Yeah, I don't... Did they ever... I've never watched a single episode of Fuller House. Did they ever explain that, or...
I haven't watched a single episode of Full House.
Is Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen dead?
No, but they're not as popular as their sister, so they might as well be. Or cousin or whatever.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen is... Wow, it took a little
And
bit.
she actually looks like a normal person, unlike her sister. What a shame.
Yeah. Well, I'll be damned.
Well, speaking of looking like a normal person, Halo 3
just killed himself.
Yes.
Yeah. Lord Hood in Halo 3 doesn't look like a normal person.
Yeah, admittedly, Lord Hood looks a little goofy. But yeah, no, Halo 3 was such a big fucking juggernaut. It overtook every game at that time, and it was competing with a lot of games. Like, if you didn't have a 360, you were probably playing COD 4, but if you had a 360, you were either playing COD 4 or Halo 3.
Yeah, and it was very split for, the few years that they were both in vogue.
Oh yeah, there was rivalry. There was a lot of I was one who played both sides, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of rivalry.
I remember getting made fun of because I just didn't really like Call of Duty, but I liked Halo.
See, I was better at Halo than I was at COD, but I played
Probably
a
because it's
lot
a
of
better
both.
designed game.
It
Ha ha ha
was.
ha!
It was.
Funny.
Hey, I mean, I like it more than COD 4. I'll be straight up with that. COD 4 has not aged as well as this game, but Halo, it was a phenomenon. The books were still really popular up until like even past 4. The books were still pretty successful.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't really like a lot of the lore changes that they made, but the Forerunner saga were actually really well written.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
which we have not we're going to talk a little bit about ODST as well, but we're probably going to save Wars, Reach, and 4 for the next one.
Yeah,
or even anything to say. I guess Halo Wars, people like it.
I like Halo
it's not
Wars.
that bad.
Yeah, I just never played it. I always kind of thought it was like the weird one or whatever. But yeah, people like the second one a lot more. I know that much.
Wars
Which
2
is
has
the
some neat things.
343 era entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
like,
forget
oh, I've heard
who
people say
developed
that's
that
the
one.
best. No, they didn't, but it is from that era. And
It
I've heard people say that's like the best thing from post Bungie.
it brought the flood back.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did.
Yes, in the DLC, but still brought the flood back. Um.
Hmm.
So yeah. Also, we're probably
Yeah,
gonna
Halo,
probably not gonna talk about Spartan, Strike, or Assault. Those are just,
those are extra.
yeah.
But Halo 3, yeah, it was another one that kind of got shifted around because of Halo 2, the way that one ended, and it didn't really wrap up the story. So a lot of 3 winds up just being what would have been 2.
Yeah,
The story is a bit less, it has worse pacing. I feel like it has the worst pacing of the 3, but it's still good. It's also shorter, I think. I mean, I don't know if
yeah.
it really is, but it feels shorter.
I just realized we didn't even mention the fact that Halo 2 ends on one of the most infamous cliffhangers in history.
One of the
Yeah,
most
well,
egregious.
tell us about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about the cliffhanger. What
All
exactly
right,
happens?
so
I know it's like
uh,
a big spooky Cthulhu tentacle.
not that part. That part's okay. I don't really care. But so Chief has just escaped High Charity on board the Ark, which the Prophet of Truth. If you don't know anything about Halo, this all sounds insane. But the Prophet of Truth has used to go to Earth because that's where the portal to the Ark is, which is like the master like facility that controls all of the Halo rings. And Chief is on board the Ark in like some kind of tube, and the invasion of Earth is still going on. And Lord Hood's just like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is this ship?" And Chief is like, "Hey, don't shoot this ship. I'm on board." And Lord Hood is like, "Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?" And Mr. Chief says, "Sir, fishing."
That's not what he says. He
Yeah, he
says,
said,
"Sir, finishing this
"Finishing this
Big
fry."
Mac."
Yes.
Sir,
Well, no, that's
finishing
what he's
that
doing at McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
Sir, drinking my Slurpee.
Yeah, so it does just kind of end a bit out of nowhere, and yeah, the other thing is the big weird Cthulhu tentacle guy who just kind of
Yeah, the
talks at
grave
you.
mind.
Yeah, he just kind of talks at you about some like buy Halo 3, please. Is basically
Yeah,
what he
he
says to
actually
you.
says that. It's crazy.
Come see us next time in the next game.
Same grave mind, same grave channel.
Yeah, no, they really didn't. Again, the time crunch was very, very tight. They did the best they could, but they could not write an ending for that, really.
Yeah, they did fucking amazingly for the time that they were given,
I mean,
but
we
they just
also
weren't
need
given
to,
enough.
Halo 2, we didn't even mention because this happened recently. They put up the dig site, which is the E3 demo, which I always heard was just like bullshots, basically. Like didn't even exist as a real game, but I guess it did to some extent. But
I
Just got
it's
another Killionaire.
completely different from real Halo 2.
Yeah,
it's also very
they showed off
yeah.
They basically just lied to people, but like
essentially, yeah.
in a way where the final game still ended up good, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's just it's not really well remembered as a fine moment in the development of the game.
I
No.
legitimately played it just before we started recording even,
I
and
haven't gotten around to it, sadly.
the thing I'll say is it is very scripted to the point where I like walked away from a point for a second, and it was a point where I was supposed to get inside a vehicle, and it instantly pulled me into the vehicle, and I walked away, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess.
Oh
It's like
no!
This sounds like Call of Duty, Bane.
Well, no,
Every
no,
Call of Duty campaign.
well, no, what I'm saying is like it like instantly teleported me into it. It was like, oh yeah, it's like not even a question that I was supposed to press the button. It's that it knew I was supposed to be in it, and I wasn't at that moment,
Yeah.
so it pulled me into it.
Well, you also have to. You're mandatorily forced to play it with the E3 camera movement. So you slowly pan the mouse around to look at the vistas.
Yeah,
Oh no! Oh no! Trailer view.
Yeah.
it's a little lower in sensitivity.
Is there a way to increase it?
I mean, you could just increase your base sensitivity and then just
Okay.
I was actually joking, but man, it would be great if they actually did force you to just play it like an E3 guy.
it is a little tighter. I did notice that. I didn't know if it was me or not. I was like,
Oh,
hmm. But then again, something interesting is like the battle rifle. There's no like HUD for it, like no
Yeah.
on-gun HUD. So it's just the battle rifle minus like showing you your gun ammo. It's like, well, this is
Yeah. There's no number 36 on it.
weird. Yep. It's a very interesting experience. But yeah, Halo 2, it's a miracle. It really is. And Halo 3
it
is also a
sure
miracle.
is. Yeah. Even if it's not totally perfect, Halo 3, a very extremely impressive game. For the constraints too.
Oh yeah.
And definitely a looker for the 360. You know, the took a while to come out, but it
Can
still
you believe that people think that Halo 3 looks bad?
Those people are dumb.
Who?
Yeah, like it was a whole big thing at the time because they didn't like it didn't have this gritty art style that like Reach would eventually have. So people said, "Oh, a game looks shitty. Look like a Lego kid game."
Yeah, there was some of
And
that.
then they
I
were
remember
gonna
that.
make the Mega Bloks Halo game, and they just didn't because they're cowards.
We
Yeah,
really could have had a
they're
Mega
cowards.
Bloks Halo.
That would have been peak too.
Nice. But yeah, Halo 3, like, it really did set this big bar for the franchise that it could not live up to.
Yeah,
Not really.
at least not in terms of scope.
True. Yeah, it's like the whole marketing campaign was finish the fight. And
Yeah.
What the fuck do you do after that?
yeah,
Oh no, there's still a little bit more fight.
They got more fight left in them.
as it turns out, there is, I guess, a bit more fight. Sure.
It happened again.
Somehow, Halo returned.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the actual tagline for Halo 5.
Yes.
It kind of is the tagline for Halo 4
It's the
also.
back of the box for Halo 4. Just somehow Halo has returned. ... I actually remember back in the day on V, the big meme was green texting, "An ancient evil has returned."
An Ancient
Because
Evil
it was-
Awakens.
Yeah, because it was like, oh god, this is just the most generic storyline you can tell. You're not even trying. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure Halo 4's trailer literally did like an Ancient Evil Awakens type of thing, and everybody made fun of it.
Yeah, it was a wrong thing to do at that time also. Like, there's so much more they could have done, but I mean, it's the same problem I have with Star Wars, where it's like we're just kind of back at formula. When the
Back to formula.
most interesting thing they could do is just go, give us more with characters like ODSTs because it's interesting. That world is interesting.
Yeah. ODST
Yeah.
is my favorite Halo game specifically because it does something new and cool, and I
Well,
really like it.
the problem with that though is that Halo hasn't really been good for a while, so they feel like they need to return it to basics so that they can It's the same problem Sonic has, where it's like we haven't done a good normal Sonic in like a long time, so we can't do like weird wacky Sonic Knuckles treasure hunter game. We can't really do like Buck Adventures Halo edition, because they have to finally do one that's actually good with Master Chief, and they still haven't really.
Yeah. It's a little tragic, honestly.
Yeah, it's like the Hindenburg.
That's true.
Yes.
I've been saying that a lot.
This franchise
Yeah.
really is the Hindenburg of video gaming.
I believe it.
This is so sad.
Alexa, play Despacito.
Oh, the Halo nitty.
So yeah, 3, it finished the story of Chief. We went to the Ark. We finished the Flood also, pretty much.
Yeah, the flood
Yeah.
got wiped out because the Ark was destroyed, and all the flood were on it because the Gravemind sucks at planning, I guess.
Yeah.
Gravemind is a royal dumbass.
It's definitely got some very cinematic moments in Halo 3. I think it gets a little muddled toward the ending. It just seems a little like they rush it, which they kind of had to at a certain point, I'm sure. But it's like, yeah, definitely some really great moments. The whole guilty spark segment toward the end, and Johnson and all of
Rest
that.
in peace. He did die
Yeah.
this time.
He did.
Yeah, he went out the way he died doing what he loved.
Killing
That's
Kicking
what
ass and
matters.
taking names.
That's right, and being kind of a stereotype, but in a good way.
a fun stereotype.
It's fine to have stereotypes sometimes if they're
Yes.
fun and cool and not stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnson is basically just like Black Duke Nukem, and we love him for it.
He's Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder.
He really is.
Oh, they really should have Robert Downey Jr. play him in a movie. That would cause no problems at all. Ruffle no feathers.
The show may be canceled, but there's always time for a season 3. That's all I'm saying. Robert Downey Jr.
Is Johnson in the show?
He's not in the show. Captain Keys is.
What the fuck?
Captain Keys kind
Zero
of
soul ass shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, soul versus soulless.
For one of these shows, we may have to do both seasons of a show.
No. Please.
It's
You
not
can
that
pay
bad.
me for it, and maybe I'll do it. But
I don't
know.
believe you.
I have never led anyone astray ever, Tristan.
Yeah, Bane is famously known for having really good opinions everyone agrees with. So
I mean, I'm not a contrarian. I actually like this shit.
okay, Bane.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
I mean, I don't disbelieve you.
I
It's
believe
just-
that you think that.
I mean, look, sometimes I
Yeah,
like
hammer.
weird, intriguing things for weird, intriguing reasons. Did I kill that? I killed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, a lot of the characters in Halo are also very intriguing, weird. They get to have fun moments, which a lot of sci-fi franchises just don't let them have.
Yeah,
Hey, Bane, you want a
operates
hammer?
Under...
Yeah.
Halo operates under the rule of.
I get the other
cool,
one.
for
It
sure.
has. I'm pretty sure it has more.
It does.
Nice.
The only thing that really matters in a Halo cutscene or in the story is if it's fun and cool.
Oh yeah.
And it really is a story that's like, a lot of games. I saw someone criticizing Bloodborne recently, and they were like, okay, well, people, give this or that a pass because of lore reason, and it's like, okay, well, the lore should service the game, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And yeah, Halo's a game that's like that. Everything that happens is in service. Especially, I mean, at least in the Bungie days, everything that happens is in service of cool Halo shit happening.
Yeah,
it
like
doesn't
the
always-
ODSTs were like. I guess not famously, but like, well, notably to me, were something from the books that were brought into the game because they were just so fucking cool, and it was nice to like drop in with a whole bunch of like specialized Marines.
Yeah, it was a really interesting concept.
And they really expanded on them from the books, where they are these like kind of Marine-esque characters, where they're like thrown into front lines, and again, typically
Dropped in from fucking orbit.
they're literally orbital drop shock troopers. That's like, oh yeah, it would suck to be one of those guys too. It would,
Oh yeah.
like, genuinely, being thrown to the front lines is the worst place to be. So you got to think, like, these guys are facing hunters like I am right now and trying not to die.
Like you are right now.
Like I
Yeah,
almost
he's
did.
over there.
Yes. But yeah, no, should we start talking about ODST? Let's
I
finish
love
up.
ODST.
Well, let's finish up 3 real quick. So
Yeah.
it ends with us defeating Guilty Spark, which is somebody who we've not brought up yet at all, which I'm actually a little shocked by.
I mentioned Guilty Spark.
Oh yeah, you did.
He's a little sphere.
Guilty Spark has the distinction of sharing the number with the company that went on to ruin Halo, and everyone always points out that.
Yeah.
I guess Guilty Spark finally agreed his mission, or finally achieved his mission. You know.
Well, that's the thing. Guilty Spark didn't want to destroy Halo. He wanted to activate Halo. So he kind of really failed.
Yeah, he fucked up really bad then. Actually, yeah.
Yeah. That fucking dweeb.
I will say it is very weird that they name themselves after the villain.
I mean, I kind of get it.
It's a cool name, I guess.
Yeah, because like 343, Guilty Spark is one of the most iconic characters, nonetheless. Like,
yeah, he's a little like round guy.
He's a little gremlin.
He floats.
He's a little bit
He's
of a.
He's kind of like Wheatley before Wheatley.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Fuck.
Like even down to the incompetence
and evil.
The weaponized incompetence. It's beautiful. But yeah, no. From there, we see Chief and Arbiter. They drive off of off of a falling platform onto a ship, and the ship gets split in half. Both of them survive in different ways, but Chief is presumed dead, and he goes into cryosleep. We see him slowly approaching a planet, but we don't really have an idea of what he's doing there, so it's not that important. And that's the way Halo 3 ends.
Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Pee me.
Yeah, wake me when I've got to pee. He's chief of a small bladder. He's got to piss at least 5 times a night.
Listen, those Spartan modifications, they fucked him up a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
We don't blame them.
Little bit of incontinence. That's why the suit also sucks your dick too.
That's true. That's definitely not fake.
Not at all.
Made up by Drill.
What are you talking about? But yeah,
I like Drill's headcanon. I think that works. And also, Master Chief spends tons on candles. You don't see it in the games a lot because it's not really relevant, but like.
Oh yeah, you should see.
He just really wants his room to smell really good.
Me too. He needs to learn about incense though. It's a lot more affordable.
Yeah, it's also just better.
It's.
What do you think the suit smells like?
Oh, it's gotta smell awful. Like.
I would assume they have some kind of way of combating that. You know.
Oh shit, Wraith.
You'd hope.
I got it.
Also, I mean, fuck, you never know.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm dead. Never mind. I got the Wraith.
Hey, nice. Oh, I died too.
Here, hit these guys.
Sergeant Johnson is fucking dead. Oh no.
Oh no.
Before we get into ODST, I will say, I've only gotten into playing Halo with you with people recently. With you, well, in the last few years, with you guys. I never, because I had a 360. I got it in like 2014, and I did play because people were still playing Halo 3 because it's that good. Before MCC, they were still just playing it on the Xbox 360 in 2014. I played a bit
Yeah.
of it, but it was, it's not as good without. I don't know. By that point, I'd missed the era.
Yeah, it was at that point where it's like starting to be only the hardcore players, which that happens to every game after a certain point
Oh
where it's
yeah.
like, the core community dies and it becomes the tight knit core community.
Yeah, yeah. And
Some
so there was a bit of
Sometimes
that,
that's
and
fine. Sometimes
it's
it's
more
fine.
fun. It's more fun with you guys and like voice chat and good voice chat with people you actually get along with, and
Yes,
occasionally some annoying fucker, but that's just bound to happen.
that's Halo
Uh,
Nights.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you think that it's you, it is.
It could be you. It
We
probably
hate
is.
you, and we would kill you
Possible.
if we could.
There's
Were
a
it not for
couple
the
of
laws
them.
of this land, we would have slaughtered you.
Yeah, there's a couple of them where it's like, yeah.
See, I was mostly just like joking.
Oh, me too. I have no idea what you're referring to, sir.
Yeah, yes, it's just a joke. We just
Oh
make a funny silly.
Listen,
shit,
we're
that's
all
a lot.
annoying too most of the time. All of us are autistic.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've done enough to piss both of you off multiple times, and I'm not even trying to do it sometimes.
Yeah, for Claw, it's usually just being better at him than Halo.
I mean, for a lot of people, it's being better than the Halo.
Yeah, to be fair, I hate the that one game mode, which I will not name.
Yeah, it's about running each other over.
Mostly because I really
Smear
suck
the
at it.
Spend the friend, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spin the friend.
Spend the friend. I'm gonna fucking rename it to
In
that.
fact,
Oh my
actually,
God.
yes. In fact, spin the friend, but keep everything else the same, like the map layout and all of the
Oh, yeah, of
iconography
course,
it leaves
of
in there.
course.
Keep it
Of
entirely the
course.
same. Not the point.
Spend the friend.
Spin the
Yeah,
friend.
there was a Halo 3 was like when it really started to pop off too with the custom game types. You got I mean
The
the
famous.
the classics like the classics for us like Jenga, Michael Jackson's House, Protect Obama and Bush,
Oh yeah. Well, then
fucking Speed Halo,
you've got ones that became actual like legitimate game types afterwards, like Griffball,
Yes.
which
Like Griffball is well actually even back in the Halo 2 days, Infection.
Oh,
Infection
yeah.
was a custom game type and they made it real. Same with Griffball.
it is crazy. Just and plus, like custom map layouts end up becoming actual maps sometimes. I think there was a couple of
Yeah.
them that did.
Like there are like MLG variants of just I'm pretty sure basically every map.
Oh yeah, we were
Finally
eating real good.
tuned.
Yeah. So now we talk about ODST, which is
the game we've been playing.
yes,
Yes. I spawned it way the fuck away from y'all.
the
ODST is not the one that you think of in terms of like a multiplayer Halo. We're talking about game types and everything. It has multiplayer, and that's what we're doing now, but it really is mostly known for its fucking supremely choice atmosphere, and it's like
so good.
it's just a short, concise, great campaign, all killer, no filler. It's what people think of when they think of I want a game that's not 500 hours and wastes my time. I want just or Silent Hill 2 was another one I played recently. It's like it's so refreshing to just play a game and it's done in like less than 10 hours and you have a great time with it and it's every moment is memorable.
And you want to replay it.
Yes.
So yeah, this game launched, I believe, like 40
2009?
bucks. Wait, 2009,
Oh, yeah.
$40.
And it came with the Halo 3 multiplayer disc, which had all of the maps to that point.
Yeah, and it was genuinely a good, like, even if you didn't give a fuck about the like ODST itself, which you were missing out. But it's like if you wanted a good compendium of Halo 3 with all of the DLC, that was such a good price. And then you've got a great campaign with this mode, Firefight, which is a genuinely fun horde mode.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just I mean we've been playing it this whole time and it's been fun.
Oh yeah.
Even though we've put it on easy because we have to actually
we're
have conversation.
And we're still falling apart at bad at times. But
yeah. Sometimes we just pause.
This was an experiment. But
I think it's been pretty good. We've been all over the place, but it's been a fun one.
but like this was the era of horde modes. This was 1 year after COD Zombies, and then you had fucking
Gears
Gears of War
Horde.
2. Microsoft had the fucking horde modes on point at that little time.
I mean, it's just a good mode.
Yeah.
Like I like just free playing against a bunch of fucking enemies. It's nice.
Well,
It's therapeutic.
this one especially, like Reach and because 5 has a firefight technically, kind of.
Yeah, in the most in the strangest sense possible, it has
Yeah.
firefight.
Although Warzone firefight is fun, I can say that. It requires you having a decent amount of cards, which doesn't make it pay for
pay more fucking money for the cards.
I mean, I'll say this: you earn the cards pretty fast. Like you get a bunch of the free packs and shit. But also, it's like, yeah, I would just prefer firefight. To being real, but I like having a explosive sniper rifle that I can call in. That's fun.
It'd be cool if it wasn't pay to win stuff. Yeah.
Let's hope that Halo isn't the reason everything got shitty. We didn't really talk about the cosmetics and stuff. That was another big thing with like
Oh,
Halo
yeah.
3 especially. Yeah, there was good old recon, the hunt for recon.
Yeah, and so in Halo 1 and 2, you could like change the color of your multiplayer Spartan for free for all games.
Yep.
And that kind of evolved into like the armor permutation system that that Halo 3 had.
Yep.
And there are a lot of really cool armor pieces like EOD, the ODST helmet.
EVA.
Recon was the one. Yeah, EVA, which, the big fucking fish dome.
Yeah,
And then
it would make you a very
Recon.
easy target in fucking SWAT.
Yeah, but Recon was the one that that everybody wanted because it was initially only available for Bungie employees, and then they gave it out to people who had like people who were featured on Bungie's homepage for like cool stuff, or people who had done like big stuff for the community. It was a community award, and ODST wrapping it around is actually notable because it gave the community at large the opportunity to get recon, through challenges and stuff called the Vidmaster challenges. I think named off if I can fucking speak, named after like old marathon like run throughs. I think back in the day of the game replay.
They did some wild shit. They really, it was Bungie at their most community, like even focusing later with Destiny, which is supposed to be this big community-focused game. I don't think it was Bungie. Like, I don't think Bungie's ever been that community active, and since then, they did so many crazy things to just connect people together.
It was
cool. It was a time, there's a lot of weirdos on the internet who want you to believe that it's never going to be that good again. I remember that one from the podcast, the guys who were like, dude, there was a time in the late 2000s when you were playing Halo with your bros, and that was the peak of existence, brothers.
Yeah.
The West has fallen, and it's like...
Yeah,
I think the funniest part is that, like, they're like, there was a time when you last played Halo with your friends, and I'm like... I do that every 2 weeks.
It's like, if that's the pinnacle of my life, I think I might actually stick a gun in my mouth. I'm gonna be real. That sounds so sad if that's like the peak of life. You know what I mean? It's like, the peak of your life, I mean, I hate to be one of those guys, but it should be like having a kid, raising a family, that kind of shit. Not, I was 14 and I played COD a couple times with my friends, and now I don't get to do that anymore because I've got a job.
I played Call of Duty and ate a pizza. Oh, my life was so good.
Remember when Domino's was good and they didn't take everything from you? It's like, what?
Domino's took the children.
Yeah. Remember
Domino's went woke and it all went to shit.
Yeah. Remember when you fingered that girl outside the Stucky's pizza place? The West has fallen.
Stuckies? The fuck is that?
I'm just coming
I
up with
fingered a
names.
girl outside of a Pizza Express in Woking. They treated me like a prince.
Yeah. White men were superior back then. You could go to Blockbuster and get a thing of Butterfinger, BBs. The West has fallen.
Now you are selling me on this, Bane.
Yeah, to be fair, I could go for anything Butterfinger right now, honestly.
Honest to God, yeah, Butterfinger
And a
BBs
pizza.
kind of fucked.
Yeah. And fingering.
Yeah, hey,
Outside of the
the
suckies.
Stuckies, it's a big difference.
Yeah, fingering by a suckies just feels like you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, you're missing the point of that place. Yeah, speaking of Halo
So
ODST.
Halo 3. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the shift to ODST, yeah, it $40 used to get you a lot, kids. It really did.
Yeah.
$40 now gets you maybe a multiplayer game, and even then, maybe they'll do
A
this in 2
multiplayer
weeks.
only game.
Multiplayer only game on the list 2 weeks after Concord.
You got Shadow and Sonic Generations for like 50 USD. That's not too bad.
It's pretty good.
That's like the best Sonic game in years, so, you know.
But yeah,
It has the other best Sonic game in years.
yeah, $40.
So it still happens sometimes, but this one was like an impeccable deal.
Yeah, and it was also crazy because, like, if you split it up, effectively you're paying $20 for a good campaign and firefight, and then you're paying $20 for a multiplayer pack of all the Halo 3 maps and Halo 3's multiplayer, which is a crazy good deal.
If you didn't have all of the Halo 3 maps, that was an insane deal because they were sold for like $10 each, right?
I think so, yeah.
And if you did have all of the Halo map packs, then you could give that disc to a buddy, and then you have duos for fucking whatever for matchmaking.
Oh yeah, so or you could be like me and have Halo 3, but decide, well, I'll get the multiplayer map packs later, and then when this comes out, you're like, well, fuck it, I don't
gotta do that.
Yeah, I'll just swap discs. Fuck it. If I want to play the campaign, I'll just put in my Halo 3 disc. And so I did it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, Halo 3, I played it on a 360 again, a couple years ago, because I was just trying out, see if it still worked. And it still looks amazing. It's 30 FPS, that's its weakest part.
So it's also like 640p, but
yeah, but I mean,
somehow it still looks incredible in spite of all of that.
Yeah, good console upscaling, and also just
good art design.
Yeah, just the fact that this game,
good framing of everything,
Yeah, and the fact that the FOV, if it's that low resolution, it makes sense. As much as I don't like the FOV in 3 and ODS. Well, okay, in 3 I don't like the FOV that much, but in ODST the FOV makes sense, so I don't mind it.
I like big FOV.
I mean, yeah, but it makes sense. I get why this FOV is tight, because,
you're a guy.
Yeah, you're just a dude. You're an ODST.
Just a bit of a fella.
I mean, saying just a dude, it's like these people are very well trained and shit.
Yeah, you aren't exactly Alan Wake in this, just John Mann.
Yeah.
Actually, I am exactly John Mann. That's his name.
Oh.
By the way, how much longer are we going to end the episode by the end of this set?
Maybe after the next one. Well, actually, we're only two. We're only two,
Well, at the end of this round, at the end of this go. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can wrap up ODST by then.
But yeah, ODST, I think it's my favorite, mostly because of the just wonderful atmosphere.
Oh yeah, well, what we haven't shown of the campaign is the fact that half the campaign is traditional Halo missions, where it's you're going through, you're driving warthogs, you're doing crazy cool jumps and shit, and the other half is kind of this silent, almost
open world-ish thing.
Yeah, it's almost hauntingly empty at moments, semi-open world, detective kind of game.
Yeah, in the earlier Halo games, 1, 2, and 3, you always had, for most levels, I should say, you usually had some sort of ally, like a Marine helping you out, or like Guilty Spark floating around doing fucking nothing, but at the very least he's there.
You always at least
In
have
OD
Cortana talking with you at the very least.
Yeah,
Like you always have
Cortana's saying,
something.
"Hey, the Covenant are putting up a real fight." So just shit like that.
Yeah.
But in ODST, at least in the city street segments, there's nothing. There's just
Yeah, it's
you.
really isolating.
There's just you, like the occasional like pre-baked line that the superintendent might give off, like when you're near a payphone, and the enemies.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking good.
And it's like there are times where you'll get moments where the enemies just won't be around, and it'll just be you walking in the
Yeah.
city. And
It's the Halo game with I think the most downtime.
yeah, it's so weird to go from like combat encounters and like you're getting a firefight to just like being in an empty city where the only sounds around you are the music, which is amazing.
We gotta give a hand to, art. Separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, it's
Marty
like-
O'Donnell might
Yeah.
be weird, but he's got
fuck Marty's opinions,
fucking
but
incredible
also,
tunes.
but also like
Fantastic soundtrack.
yeah, the fucking like just
I
a
think of him-
piano.
I'm starting to think of him as the opposite of Matt. What's his name
Matt
from
Ullman.
Diablo?
Matt, what's his face?
Yeah,
Isn't
because
Matt
Let's
that
not say
guy,
his name.
that guy was extreme TDS, and this is like, I guess, the opposite of that. And they're both like really talented game composers, but man, something happened.
As someone
What
who's-
would happen if you put them in a room?
Oh, it would be unstoppable force and immovable object is what would happen, and I'm not sure which is which.
See, here's the thing. I think they're both so full of themselves that they'd end up loving each other and then becoming into a sweet, kind, but depressing relationship.
This is the unity that they're trying to take away from us.
Opposites attract. That's all I'm saying. Opposites attract.
I guess so.
But yeah, no, Marty nailed the music in this game. There's no denying it. It accents everything. And
I mean, it's worth mentioning they're all great for
Oh, yeah.
music. I mean, all the Halos, but I do think ODST really just has some fucking special, because it has the normal, like, what you're hearing in this. I mean, I don't know if
you're not gonna be
the
hearing
audio-
this. Yeah.
Yeah, but what you would hear in like a mode like this, the sort of tribal drum Halo stuff, but then yeah, you just have that like ambient dark night music, sort of jazzy. It's really rare to, I mean, not rare to hear something like that in a game, but in a game like this especially, I would say it's pretty rare
Yeah.
for something that's just so nice and pleasant, but also like ominous and dark and mysterious. It hits all the right beats it's trying to.
Exactly. I think
It's got the nice sexy sex that you love.
Oh yeah,
it-
and that piano, like Bane mentioned.
it's so like incredibly well detailed. It's one of the best gaming soundtracks of
Bro,
probably all time.
Claw just punched me in the back.
Did I?
Oh
I
Yeah.
thought I punched near you. I'm sorry. I wanted to
That's
see if I
alright.
could still use the fucking hammer because I was out of juice, but I guess it's just like a butt of the thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's basically just melee.
I've got one that's
They
at
like
74.
redo the melee.
But yeah, like genuinely an impressive like storytelling that you can kind of just do any mission. You can do like most missions in any order. I think there's like
ODST
5 you can kind of just
basically-
go around to.
What's amazing, again, I know I keep bouncing back to just the failures of modern Halo, but like ODST is pretty much the framework right there for what they should have done with Infinite, and they kind of didn't.
I mean,
And
I would
it's
have
like,
I would have been
man,
fine
they
if
should have.
I would have been fine if we would have just gotten, like maybe no chief stories for a bit. Like I would have been fine if after 3 it's like, yeah, we're doing something different.
Yeah, and then like maybe in like 2017 or something like that. Oh, 10-year anniversary of Halo 2, massive return of Chief. Insane. And everyone would love it.
It would have been pretty awesome if they would have done something different.
Something.
Because there is a
Yeah.
pretty rich world. It's just, really,
And
Yeah,
it
but
focuses on Chief.
ODST is what you're looking for, though. It's got the, it's got the open structure, but again, it's also it's got that, and yet it's not like bloated with fucking stupid Ubisoft command posts or whatever the fuck that these games
Yeah,
all
like
need to have.
the
now.
most it has is audio logs, and even then, those are entirely optional and only really lead to like a slightly different ending sequence
Yeah.
and some caches of like weapons and not armor and weapons and vehicles just like dotted around the landscape.
Oh shit. Yeah. They, Infinite does suffer from some of that, where it kind of has a little bit of a Ubisoft, open worldness, which I'm not a fan of. The only Ubisoft open world game I've played. God, that's happened to me twice. Fuck. The only time I've really liked an Ubisoft sandbox game recently has been that Immortals Phoenix Rising. That's actually kind of fun.
No.
I didn't hate it.
I really do not like the look of that game.
But it doesn't look great.
Breath of the Creed. How could you not like it?
It's fun. But
and I just realized Assassin's Creed came out the same year as Halo 3 too.
Oh my god, yeah, it did.
Jesus.
Stacked year.
I mean, 2007 is often considered like the best year in gaming, or 1998, or like last year. So, you know.
I mean, 2007 is going to be 20. It's going to be 20 years soon.
Oh god, yeah.
That's fucking crazy to think about.
We're all gonna die, Synecdoche.
Bottom text, folks. Bottom text.
we live in a game.
And ODST is also interesting because, Reach. I didn't know as much about these games back in the day, and like the politics that went into all of them. But like Reach and ODST are both pretty similar, where it's like smaller story of, non-Master Chief characters doing something kind of interesting and a little bit emotional and, having something interesting going on. Like we were saying before, like they need to nail a Master Chief game, 343 does, but everyone kind of also just wants to see something like these two games again, where, we're not talking about Reach today, but, something like that. And that's a very different game. That one's not open or anything, but yeah, I mean, it's just, they seemed similar to me back in the day. Like, wow, these Halo's going in an interesting direction here. Yeah. It's like non-Master Chief, but they're doing new stories and they're interesting and they're, unique gameplay. You don't really need to have every game be the same. This is such an exciting, bold future for that. And then Halo 4 came out.
And 343 said, but I do like a Master Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They sure do.
When we get into 4, when we get into Reach and 4, there's some curiosities about those that I'm fascinated by when it comes to, like, what they could have really done with the freedom of just having a new entry and being a new thing. And then we'll talk about where they went with that. And stay tuned on that one, folks. We haven't been foreshadowing that at all.
It all turned out fantastically.
Of course. We love Halo 4.
It was perfect. It was great.
Especially Dane.
I feel wonderful.
I feel
That's the best thing to come out of that game.
It really, honestly, God, if we would not have had Halo 4, we'd not have that video. And a video we're going to gaslight our audience into liking.
Right. By the way, everyone in the audience, if you want to watch Ode to Halo 4 by DJ Orwell in Red Dead Redemption, you can look that up and it's there. I made it.
Nexus mods.
I put it right there on nexusmod.com.
Thank you to DJ Orwell and Tristan for ranting.
Yes. I'm trying to think what else can I really say other than it is one of those things people should pick up because it's incredibly easy to get into, especially ODST. Same with the whole franchise. But pick up every Halo game, folks. Pick up every Halo game.
Yeah, just get Master Chief Collection. Like get the whole package. I mean, I know it might be a little bit cheaper to get just a couple of games, but it really is all.
So you might as well, in a way. But also, it is a better deal to get all of them.
I mean,
it's a better deal to get all of them. And I mean, if you ever want to play Halo 4 for a curiosity's sake,
I mean, sure, Halo 4 has a lot of content. That can be said about it. You've got both the campaign and the
and at least you don't have to. At least you don't have to go and unlock all of the ugly armors like individually.
Yeah. Well, now there's some of the ugly armors you can only get through
That's the thing. The better looking armors are actually on the exchange.
Oh
Like
shit,
the
really?
ODST armor doesn't look horrible.
I haven't really looked at the exchange for 4, admittedly. But yeah, no, I plan on replaying 4 before we talk about this again, because I'm curious to see
Yeah,
how
I'm probably gonna have to too.
I'm curious my feelings on it. Kind of.
Yes, I can. I mean,
Where the hell was the last guy?
maybe we can try and co-op it together.
I'd be down.
Is that? I guess it's just 2-player though.
No,
for
it's 4. It's 4. Everything after
Oh.
everything after 2 is 4-player.
Oh.
Including recently we figured out Reach, not Reach, ODST's
Firefight.
Firefight, yeah.
Yeah, ODST Firefight. We thought for a while that it maxed out at 4 players. Apparently, it doesn't. We had 6 people. We had 6 people in a firefight game at one point, and it was really fucking fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta do that again next time. I'm glad that that can be like part of the normal rotation now. Bonus round. How can you mention Halo for like? How can you talk about it for several hours without mentioning the fucking announcer guy?
Yes.
What's his
I
name?
love that
His
guy.
name?
Jeff
Do you know?
Seltzer?
Yeah, sites, something like that.
It's
Something like that. Yeah.
it's something
No
close.
maidens. I mean, it's just an amazing voice for the job that he's got. you
Oh
know?
yeah, but that dude, like anytime he says things with a Halo announcer voice, and he's willing to do a lot on Cameo. Obviously, certain things you just can't.
Oh man, it is a damn shame that we have no fucking income for this.
Yeah,
Because
hey.
having him do loud equals funny,
Yeah.
hyperfixations, Halo.
Maybe for some of the later ones we could get that, folks. Again, if you want to see that happening, patreon.com/loud equals funny.
Yeah, fund our addiction.
Yes. Do you like Halo too? I mean, Halo also? Halo as well?
I like Halo too.
Do you like
yeah,
and
I
Halo?
do.
Yes.
Plow? Me free
Plow.
collection?
Do you like how the English language is designed to just fuck everyone over when you really think about it? How it always
Oh
likes to
yeah,
just...
that's my favorite part of Halo.
Yeah.
They get into language stuff a lot in Halo 7.
Yeah, it
next
becomes the
one.
lolly lule low.
It's just a lot of. I'm just hearing a lot of explosions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is why I separated the audio for the podcast listeners, because I would get someone
yeah.
saying, "What's with all the explosions?" Even at 1%, I'd be like, "What's with all the explosions?"
Yeah. Kind of difficult to focus on the podcast with all the explosions. Please turn down. Please nerf explosions.
Yeah, we're now at
Yeah,
2.
it's a good thing that you split it because now you can just like adjust the audio.
Oh, I mean, I like it's a very very low, so it may not show up.
All right.
But I think now that we've kind of covered everything, and it's almost 2.5 hours, we should probably wrap this one up.
Yeah, I'm down to stop playing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired.
So yeah, Halo, folks. If you've never played it, the Master Chief Collection can be bought on Xbox One through Series X and on PC. It's
If you'll give me just a moment, I'll pull up the store page and see how much it costs.
Yes, we're currently recording this before
Just
Thanksgiving.
before Black Friday.
Yes.
So yeah, things are gonna. It's probably gonna be on sale for super cheap if you hear it on Patreon.
Halo the Master Chief Collection is $40 for the entire thing.
Okay, so it's not on
But
sale.
if you want to, yeah, it's not on sale currently. But if you wait for a sale, I've seen it go as low as $5.
Oh yeah, let me
But-
check on
Black
Xbox.
Friday.
Each game individually is oh geez. Each game individually is $10, except ODST, which is $5. So
That's a fucking steal.
Yes.
I would definitely recommend getting the entire pack because I mean, let's just say you want to play 1, 2, 3 and ODST. It's only $5 more to get Reach and 4 on top of it.
Listen, don't shit on Reach. Reach is also great.
Oh no! I'm just separating Reach because we didn't really talk about
Right.
it.
Okay.
One thing
Yeah.
I'll say, I'm looking here as of Monday the 25th. Right now, the Master Chief Collection is on sale on Xbox until the 2nd, December 12th, December 2nd.
Oh, Xbox. I remember the Xbox.
It's only 10.
Anyway, so on Steam.
Okay, but it's only 10,
I mean, hey,
it's only
if
$10 for everything, including Reach and
Yeah.
ODST.
if
For
you
the
want to
five
buy it on
people who
Xbox,
still
go
own
ahead.
Xboxes,
Yes.
yeah, it's a good deal. I'm
If-
sure it still plays good on there.
If you got one, get it there. But get it
I'm
on
sure
PC
that's also
preferably.
I'm sure that's also the price of the Windows Store version.
It might be. I think it is a
Could be.
cross buy, but
Oh, also it's
get
a
the
Game
Steam
Pass.
version.
I'm pretty sure.
it is.
Yeah,
it is.
if you can get Game Pass to fucking work for you, that
Yes.
fucking pile of
Yeah.
shit.
I need to help you troubleshoot that tomorrow.
I just want to cancel now. I'm just done with it.
Yeah.
But you know, Halo, definitely try to get it for Black Friday or Christmas. You know, Boxing Day sale. I guess Americans don't have that. We have
It's
Boxing
just-
Day.
just-
I don't even know what it
I
means.
think just day after Christmas over here.
Yeah,
You put everything that you don't like from Christmas in boxes, and then
you
you
sell it.
box the guy who gave it to you
Ooh.
Perfect
for for having the sheer audacity to give you such horrible gifts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Pick it up on a sale. You know, play it. Play the single player. You know, and that's a whole. It's a very different experience, obviously, from the multiplayer. You know, you can tell that they don't necessarily. You know, most multiplayer modes aren't like the way the single player is, but it is just very like. You know, the single player, the campaign. It doesn't have to be single player. It can be co-op,
Co-op.
obviously, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a friend, play it with them.
Yeah, it's a good time, and the story is nothing to just ignore necessarily. It's pretty entertaining. I know. When I played it, all I was expecting was just blast alien like Doom or something, but it is.
It's the alien.
It really does try to do something more. Whether or not it's the deepest story ever, I don't know about that, but it's definitely a competent and engaging fantasy sci-fi story, you know, and more so than I was maybe expecting at first. So if you're new to it, you know, for sure, you know, go in with an open mind to the story, and then of course the multiplayer, get some people together, or just, you know, even play with randos, I guess. But it's a good time. It's really great movement, and you know, I remember when everyone shit on Halo for being Babby's first shooter because it had like 2 weapons, I guess, and that was the
Yeah.
problem.
It does
And
suck that set the standard for that, because 2 weapons works really great for Halo, but maybe not for other games.
Yeah.
But
not for Duke Nukem Forever.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
it's not bad because of that. It
No.
is exactly fitting, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's its own thing. It's got its own skill ceiling that's different from Quake or whatever, but you know, it's separate but equal kind of deal.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. But yeah, all right, with that, I don't really have anything else to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
it's
has been loud, funny equals, ladies and gentlemen.
loud, funny equals.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Halo wherever you can get Halo. Even the books, especially the books. The books are great.
You can get the book from Audible on our link below.
Yes.
I just remember that we had that. Also, fake money.
Yes.
They fake money. You know, play Halo style.
I'll link an
You
Amazon.
use that fake money to tip the pizza boy to deliver. Don't do that. Don't do that. He's going to pay for you next time he delivers to your house. He's going to spit on your pizza. Maybe it lets us like custom money once it's
He's gonna do something but with an S.
You gotta get some custom money with loud equals money on it. Loud equals money.
That we do.
Oh, that's good.
With our faces on it.
Oh, no. We gotta do like the logo.
That's
I don't
it.
want to face on any sort of currency.
That's fair.
You don't want Tristan Bucks? Damn it.
No Tristan Bucks.
On that note, folks, this has been Loud Funny Equals episode number Hyperfixation 27 or something. I don't know. It's been a bunch of them. It's been a while since we've done one, but here we are with Halo. And I like the gameplay thing that we've done. I think we should do that next time, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
A little disorganized, but it was good.
You know, we're thinking about maybe doing a Devil May Cry one, because I've been doing them all in order, and you know, I might pull up like 3 and stream it to the chat. Maybe, I don't know.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun idea.
Depends on how I'm feeling. If I feel like mashing buttons while talking.
All right. Well, with that, folks, take it easy and penis.
Penis.
Gravemind's funny little tentacle penis.